It's the 8th inning. The score tied. Jason Thompson doubles to left center field. Dave Parker then breaks an 0 for 10 slump with a towering home run off the scoreboard in right center for a 3-1 Pirate win. Tonight, rookie sensation Jose De Leon goes after his 3rd win of the season. The Bucks try to make it 2 in a row. But it won't be easy because on the mound for the Phillies will be lefty Steve Carlton. He'll be going for his 296th career victory tonight. A very pleasant good evening and welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Along with Lanny Fratteri and Jim Rooker, I'm John Sanders. First, the news. Mike Easler, who suffered an injured thumb last night, went back to Pittsburgh. He has some ligament damage. He's going to be out for about 3 weeks. That means the Pirates are putting him on the 21-day disabled list. Doug Frobel has been called up. Gene Tennis is in the hospital for a couple of days. That's kind of like the hospital report before we get to the game, right?
Well, that's some bad news, but the good news with Doug Frobel coming up, he's batting .304 at Hawaii with 24 home runs, 80 runs batted in. He'll report to the club in Montreal, and Chuck Tanner has said that he will be a starting left fielder starting Friday night.
You know, Chuck likes to do that. He likes to get players from the minors. Remember Jose De Leon? He said, here you go, Marvell Wynn, put him right in, used him.
Well, what happens is when you get a guy like that that's hot, you might as well bring him up. Don't put him on the bench. If he's producing, Frobel has the talent and the ability, so go ahead and use him.
Let's talk about the pitchers tonight. This should be a great matchup. The all-time great left-hander Steve Carlton, 295 career wins. The man with the great slider, the pitch of the 70s. Then we have Jose De Leon with the forkball, maybe the pitch of the 80s, coming up and starting for only the 4th time. Great matchup.
Well, it really is, John. Now, we're getting Carlton for the 2nd time on 3 days rest. The last time, earlier in the year, he got the Pirates at a time when they really weren't hitting that well as a team. He had 9 strikeouts, but the Bucks had an early 4-2 lead after 5.5 innings. Carlton hung in there. Philadelphia came back and won the game 9-7. So, in a sense, we let him off the hook. With 3 days rest, his slider just isn't quite as sharp, but he's still a battler. Now for the Pirates, Jose De Leon, who lost his last time out, but he didn't pitch his kind of game. Too many breaking pitches, and he got behind in the count on the Montreal batters. He had to come in there and groove the pitches, and with Andre Dawson, Al Oliver, and those likes, that hurt him.
It's a great matchup. Steve Carlton against Jose De Leon here tonight. We'll be set for the Pirates and the Phillies from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, so stay with us. Live from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight take on the first-place Philadelphia Phillies. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Nissan, builders of high-mileage, high-quality cars and trucks for 50 years, available at your Datsun dealer. By Atari, maker of real sports video games, so real they'll make your muscles ache. And by Thrift Drug, the only place you get our extra service.
You can't build a bike for the Olympics by machine. Each tube's got to be custom fit to transfer weight into forward momentum. After all, a champion should ride a champion.
The Olympics take teamwork, and Budweiser is proud to be part of that team. This Bud's for you.
This is Brian Harper and Jim Morrison for Home Sports Entertainment Tote Bag Day, coming up at the stadium on Sunday, August 28th.
If you are one of the first 15,000 fans who comes to our 135 game with the Atlanta Braves, you'll receive one of these Campus Pirate tote bags free from HSE.
Jim and I love our tote bags because you can put just about anything in them and carry them with you wherever you go.
So get here early on Sunday, August 28th for HSE Tote Bag Day.
If you are watching tonight's game on the Pirate Television Network and you do not have a Giant Eagle supermarket within a 50-mile radius, you can still play our Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes. Just send a postcard with your name, your address, and your telephone number to Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes, Box 222, Pittsburgh, 15230. If your name is chosen and as a contestant you win, Giant Eagle will make arrangements to have gift certificates sent to you, redeemable at a supermarket in your area. There's no purchase necessary, but you must be at least 18 years of age. Employees of Giant Eagle and Pittsburgh Pirate Television Network stations and their families are not eligible. Steve Carlton against Jose De Leon as we wind up this series. 14-5 was the score Monday night in favor of the Philadelphia Phillies. And the score last night 3-1. The Pirates coming back to even it up, so this is the rubber game. Lineup a change for the Pirates with Steve Carlton on the mound. Jim Rooker is here to run down that starting lineup for the Pirates. Rook.
Right field, batting second at first base, it's Lee Mazzilli. Bill Madlock's at third, batting third. Then you have Jimmy Morrison hitting in the cleanup spot. He's playing second base. Brian Harper in left field. He's batting number 5. Tony Pena, the catcher, is hitting in the 6th spot. Then Dale Berra moving up to number 7 and playing shortstop. Marvell Wynn stays in the game. He'll play in center field and bat 8th. And it's Jose De Leon on the mound batting 9th. So Chuck Tanner going with a predominantly right-handed lineup, but he wants to leave his center fielder Marvell Wynn in there, and he moves him down to the number 8 spot.
And you're getting a quick look at some of the Phillies defensively. Diaz will be behind the plate with Pete Rose at first, Joe Morgan at second, Ivan De Jesus at short, Mike Schmidt at third, Greg Gross in left field, Von Hayes in center field, Joe LaFay in right. We will run down the Philadelphia batting order when we come back for the bottom half of inning number 1. Steve Carlton out on the mound. Rook, you've talked about him many, many times. He's simply the best there is.
He really is, and you know his numbers this year, he's only 10 and 11, but he's tied for the league lead in innings pitched. He's number 1 in strikeouts. He's number 10 in earned run average, and really has not had that much support. In his 11 losses this year, his team has only averaged a little less than 2 runs a game for him. So he's done his job, but the Phillies just haven't been able to play well enough for him to put those big wins on the board.
He does have a 1-0 record against the Pirates this year. Rook pointed out maybe we should have gotten to him that game. Had the lead, could not hang on. It has happened before. Lee Lacy leads it off. Lee is batting .312, 4 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Lacy 0 for 1 in this series thus far. He'd appeared in just 1 game prior to tonight. Steve Carlton out on the mound with 35 career wins against the Pirates, 35 and 22. He has 38 against the Chicago Cubs, 35 wins over St. Louis, and 35 wins over Pittsburgh. That's tops on the Steve Carlton list. He had all the numbers up, and it comes to 295 victories. Behind the plate, our umpire tonight is Paul Runge. Dave Pallone at first, Jerry Davis at second, and Jim Quick is the umpire at third. There's a called strike. Lacy's done very, very well against Steve Carlton over the years. This year, Lacy is 1 for 5 against lefty. Drives it into right center field. Von Hayes there to make the catch. 1 out. So Lee Lacy batting .364 lifetime against Philadelphia pitching is out number 1. Here's Lee Mazzilli. He'll bat from the right side, playing first base tonight. Chuck Tanner going with a predominantly right-hand batting lineup against Steve Carlton. The Pirates starting the night a game and a half behind the Philadelphia Phillies. Montreal in second place, 1 game out. And it's on to Montreal after tonight. Tomorrow an off day. And we'll televise from Olympic Stadium in Montreal on Friday night. Ball 1 to Lee Mazzilli. You know, everybody talks, Jim, about Steve Carlton's strength and the fact that he works so very hard at his job, and I know that he does. Others have tried to copy it, but nobody has done it as successfully as Steve has.
No, the only guy that's come close is John Denny. Now, Denny, who is leading the staff with 12 wins, he's trying to follow in the routine that Steve Carlton has.
Mazzilli bounces it up the middle for a base hit. So Lee gets a base hit. Mazzilli aboard with 1 out here in the top half of inning number 1. We are just underway in Veterans Stadium. Glad to have you with us. For Mazzilli at first, this is only his 2nd start since June the 12th. Here's Bill Madlock now, 2nd in the National League in batting. He's averaged .329 starting tonight. Mazzilli at first, 1 out. Madlock 3 for 8 in the series. took something off. It's ball one. During the game tonight, we'll have 3 Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes innings. Our jackpot now $900. Stay with us for all of the Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes excitement. There's a balk called on Steve Carlton.
He got caught.
So Carlton is called for the balk.
First base umpire Dave Pallone called it right away. Let's see if we can see what Carlton does. It's not so much his head, but his foot. I think he stepped more toward home plate. He broke that imaginary line, that 45-degree angle between home and first base.
It is his 5th balk of the year. So Mazzilli is in scoring position with 1 out for Bill Madlock. Bounces it up there. Madlock batting .358 in his last 37 games. Bo Diaz behind the plate tonight for Philadelphia, catching Steve Carlton. Bill has 123 hits this year. There's a line drive just foul outside of third. That puts him in the number 6 spot along with George Hendrick in the current National League stats. You know, running down the Pirates stats, Rook, we've moved up to number 3 in batting at .268. That's been one big key to the turnaround of the ball club. More offense.
It has. Everybody's helped out.
Popped him up on the right side. Morgan starts out, and quickly LaFay has to come in and make the catch. So 2 outs. Mazzilli still at second.
I thought it was interesting, Dave Parker, after last night hitting the 2-run homer to win it, and people trying to reflect on some of Dave's years in the past, the good years that he's had, where he's carried the ball club. But he said, well, I'm just 1 of 25 now. I just go out there and do what I can. And basically that's the way it's been for this team. Everybody has contributed.
Here's Jim Morrison. He's certainly done his share, batting .381 in his last 27 games. He's starting tonight for the 22nd time, and he has hit safely in all but 2 of the games in which he has started. So I tell you, off the bench, and especially when he's had to come on and be a starter in a situation like tonight, playing second base for Johnny Ray against Steve Carlton, Jim Morrison has done the job. On the year, batting .354 with 4 homers and 15 runs batted in. Takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morrison this year is 3 for 6 against the Philadelphia Phillies. And he's 3 for 4 against Steve Carlton. That'll tell you why he's in the lineup. Outside. You know, Jim, you've touched on it several times too. The ability of Chuck Tanner to use his entire bench has certainly helped this ball club. People like Morrison ready to step in when they're needed.
It has, you know, and they haven't been able to do that in quite a while. We've seen so many right-handed pitchers lately that these guys haven't had the chance.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
I was going to say, earlier in the year, that was part of the problem, where the people off the bench didn't have the timing down, and now it might be a little bit back to that, because we've seen so many right-handed starters that these same players haven't had a chance to play.
2 outs. Mazzilli at second. He got a base hit, moved up on a Carlton balk, and there is strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Steve Carlton. The Pirates get a hit. They leave a man in the first. Bottom of the first. Gross, Rose, and Morgan coming up for Philadelphia. Pirates do not score. Lefty and the Phillies will bat when we come back.
The weather's closing in. The road's getting worse. That's when you want the performance of Exxon unleaded regular gasoline. Higher in octane than most other unleaded regulars, to help silence knocks and pings and give you the performance you need. For still higher octane, try Exxon Extra Unleaded. When you want performance, you want Exxon. Quality you can count on.
This is the taste. This is the test. Pepsi versus Coke. The Pepsi Challenge. Pepsi. And all across America, more people pick Pepsi. Time after time after time.
Pepsi Cola.
Oh, what a time. It's gonna be Pepsi now. The winning taste is Pepsi. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Taste what Pepsi's giving. It's gonna be Pepsi now.
Welcome back. We get set for the bottom half of inning number 1. Rook, how about the lineup for Philadelphia tonight?
Okay, they'll go with mostly the left-handed batters. Greg Gross will lead it off. He's their left fielder. Then Pete Rose at first base. He's batting second. Joe Morgan hitting third. He's playing second base. Then it's Mike Schmidt at third base. He's batting fourth. Joe LaFay out in right field, hitting 5th. Von Hayes, the center fielder, is batting 6th. Then it's Bo Diaz, the catcher, hitting in the 7th spot. Ivan De Jesus, the shortstop, is batting 8th. And on the mound, batting 9th, lefty Steve Carlton.
And on the mound for the Pirates, Jose De Leon, making his 4th start since being called up on July the 20th. That was when Steve Nicosia went on the disabled list. Nick is back on the active roster now that Gene Tennis is on the disabled list. And, of course, joined today by Mike Easler. So 2's enough, Rook. We don't need any more bodies on that list.
No, not this late in the year. And this is the time of the year when physical conditioning and luck really plays a big part, because you have to have your players stay healthy and keep them in there.
De Leon will face Greg Gross, who is 1 for 5 in this series. Greg batting .303, no home runs and 16 RBIs on the year. Last time out, De Leon lost to Bill Gullickson in the Expos 7-1. Jim, you mentioned that he went away from what had been his pitching pattern in the first couple of games. Why would he go away from it?
Well, I don't know if it was by design or not. I talked to Harvey Haddix today, and I said, a lot of breaking pitches. Why? And he said he really didn't know, but he was going to talk to De Leon tonight before the game and tell him to go with the hard stuff.
De Leon's first 2 starts were beauties. Complete a game against the Padres at Three Rivers on the 27th of July. 10-1 was the final there. Shutout ball against the Mets in the second game of the doubleheader a couple of weeks ago, only to have the Pirates lose it in extra innings. Took a no-hitter into the 7th inning against the Padres, and took a no-hitter into the 9th inning against the New York Mets. There's a called strike by the home plate umpire Paul Runge. Pete Rose on deck. No score here in the bottom half of the first. And Rook, that's not the way you want to begin.
So watching that last pitch, it wasn't a good fastball. I'm not quite sure if it might have been a little bit of a slider, but the count 3-1 and pitching behind, it looks like he's, well, very early yet, but falling into that pattern where he's not going at the hitters, and that's what he has to do.
Number 14.
Pete Rose batting .265, no homers and 36 runs batted in for Pete in the series. He is 2 for 5, playing first base tonight. Throw over. Gross, who has but 1 stolen base, is on at first. Rose for the year, he's batting .286 against the Pirates, .295 lifetime against Pittsburgh pitching. Called strike. A little more heat on that one.
Rear back and cut it loose.
Somebody asked me today if De Leon was as calm as he appears to be in the face of all that's going on. I think he really is.
Well, I agree with that. There's a good fastball. A couple of weeks ago, Lanny and I had a chance to talk with Woody Heike, who had managed De Leon a couple of years ago in the minor leagues. Said that every once in a while you have to kick him in the rear end, and that's pretty much the way Harvey Haddix feels about it right now. As easygoing as he seems to be, it seems like that attitude carries over in his work.
197 is earned run average. Another throw to first. He has 35 strikeouts in 32 major league innings. And he was the National League Player of the Week last week, after he flirted with those 2 no-hitters. One ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. The runner at first is Gross. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Pirates had a base runner in the top half of this inning. Mazzilli got as far as second, but Madlock and Morrison could not get him home. So now the Phillies have a chance. Rose fouls it right underneath our broadcast position.
Where are you going?
A quick move out of the way. I was a hero in Shea Stadium. I don't want to do that again.
Okay.
For the year, these 2 teams, the record, the Phillies 6 wins, the Pirates 5. So far, Philadelphia has taken 3 out of the first 5 here in Veterans Stadium. They are even at 3-3 in Three Rivers. Line drive to Mazzilli, double play.
Well, that was an off-speed pitch by De Leon that Rose, watch this, He gets it just out in front, and because Mazzilli is holding the runner at the bag, he's right there to make the play.
Second baseman Joe Morgan.
There's Mazzilli.
So Mazzilli tracks down the line drive, turns it into a double play. Gross and Rose retired on the play, 3 unassisted if you're scoring with us. And here is Joe Morgan. Joe's batting average is .209. He has 10 homers, 34 runs batted in. Joe has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. Kind of put the monkey right on his back about 10 days ago, and they said they were going to give him a week to produce, or they were going to go to the minor leagues and get somebody.
Well, he has come alive a little bit. He says now he's into his 2nd season.
Well, he's hit safely in 8 of 9, as we said, 394 over that span. His average for the year still down there, though, at 209. Those are not Joe Morgan type numbers.
No, they're really not. But even though he's hitting only 209, he has 10 home runs. That's a surprising figure for someone his age.
Two balls and 1 strike to Joe Morgan, who on the year batting .290 against the Pirates, 9 for 31, and he has 8 RBIs. In this series, Joe is 2 for 4. Jose De Leon's 4th major league start. High chopper to the right side. Jumping up to make the play is Morrison and throw him out. A walk, but nobody left thanks to the double play. We'll go to the top half of inning number 2. It'll be Brian Harper, Tony Pena, and Dale Berra for the Pirates after 1. No score in Philadelphia.
This Bud's for everyone who takes the power and sends it down the line.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This Bud's for you.
The secret of controlling the new Datsun Turbo ZX is controlling yourself. You won't do 0 to 50 in 6 seconds flat, but you know you could. You won't wind it to its track speed of over 100 miles an hour, but you know you could. And when the light turns green, you won't flaunt your turbo power, but knowing you could is awesome.
We're your Atari headquarters, and here's Atari Real Sports, the video games in a league by themselves, with real features like kicking punts and field goals, picking off runners, stealing bases, even spiking your way to the top. And there's lots more on the way. Atari offers you game systems, games, and accessories, and we're your Atari headquarters, so get your Real Sports games today. They're so real, they'll make your muscles ache. Put a stadium in your living room with our Real Sports video games.
Brian Harper opens up the top of the 2nd. Steve Carlton quickly to work, and Brian rolls it foul. And Helen Leggett of Pittsburgh is our Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes contestant here in the top of the 2nd. If a home run is hit by a Pirate, Helen will pick up $900 worth of Giant Eagle groceries, plus certificates for 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi Free, certificates redeemable at your grocer. So Helen Leggett, I hope I'm saying that right, is our contestant in the top of the 2nd. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Steve works too fast. We can't keep up with him, Brooks. He always has been a quick worker.
Well, when he's on a roll, that's when you have to try and slow him down.
Pirates had a hit in the 1st inning by Lee Mazzilli. Off the bat of Harper, it is foul. So to count 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
I'm not quite sure if we explained how Mike Easler got hurt last night, John, but on a low line drive off the bat of Pete Rose, Easler going to his left almost made a heck of a play, and when he dove for the ball, that's when he hit the artificial surface, and that's how he injured his left thumb.
Harper 0 for 3 against Steve Carlton so far this year, and Brian for the year is batting only 100, 1 hit and 10 at bats against Philadelphia pitching. That 1 hit was a home run. That's what he has been able to do, is hit the long ball. 7 home runs this year out of 19 hits. Drives it to left field, base hit. Brian Harper waited very well on that pitch and drove it into left field. 2nd hit for the Pirates.
Now let's see what it is. It looks like the hanging slider right there, and Harper did wait for it. That gives you an idea what kind of confidence Carlton has in that pitch, throwing at 3-2. I mentioned, John, 3 days rest, not quite as sharp. You'll see a lot of those sliders in the dirt, and he'll hang a few.
Pena pops it into right field. Joe LaFay moving under it. It's the first out in the second inning. Carlton has 1 strikeout. Started the night with 3,616. He is now 3 ahead of Nolan Ryan.
Number 4, shortstop Dale Berra.
Here's Dale Berra. Dale 2 for 8 in the series, batting .240 on the year. Tries to bunt and misses, strike 1. Helen Leggett of Pittsburgh is our contestant in the Giant Eagle jackpot inning. Berra on the year batting .316 against the Phillies, 12 hits and 38 at bats. He has 5 RBIs. 1 for 4 against Carlton, and they've got him at first base. No question about that.
Now he caught Brian off guard. Of course, in the first inning, Carlton was called for a balk. Now let's watch the move here. He looks to home, and more of an obvious step toward first base, and Brian is he's a dead pirate right there.
He was in no man's land. Obviously, whatever Carlton did froze Brian in his tracks, and he could not move to get back. So 2 outs and nobody on for Dale Berra. Dale with 10 homers and 40 RBIs. It's a Giant Eagle inning, $900 on the line. Called strike 3, 2 strikeouts for Carlton, no home run in our Giant Eagle sweepstakes. But for Helen Leggett, we have certificates for 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi Free, certificates redeemable at your grocer. And our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes will be worth $1,000. Bottom of the second for the Phillies, Schmidt, LaFay, and Hayes coming up. No score after an inning and a half.
At the new Burger King salad bar, you can
eat a pita.
Burger King's got the pita.
I like it.
Or a platter.
I think it's great.
Come to Burger King and take your pick. Salad in a pita or on a platter. Piled high with your choice of 23 tempting salad fixings.
Eat a pita.
This is a pita.
Or a platter.
And this is a platter.
Aren't you hungry for salad?
It tastes good.
At Burger King now.
You've always known that Giant Eagle's a great place to save. But what you may not know is that it's now a great place to withdraw, deposit, and more. Giant Eagle presents Cash Stream, the machine that lets you do your banking where you do your shopping. This one machine lets you withdraw, deposit, check your balance, and much more because it connects you with your account at over 50 banks around town. But it's only available at one major supermarket in town, Giant Eagle. Cash Stream. Now, you don't have to go to the bank to go to the bank.
This is KDKA TV2, Pittsburgh.
We get set to go to the bottom half of the second inning here in Veterans Stadium. You can see some clouds that have kind of sneaked in over the stadium. It was nice and clear this afternoon, but a few clouds around Veterans Stadium at the present time. Mike Schmidt, 2 for 8 in the series, will lead it off. Those 2 hits, 2 home runs for Schmidt, who leads the National League in that department. He has 26 on the year. Andre Dawson of Montreal, 25. Dale Murphy of Atlanta has 23. Darrell Evans of San Francisco has 22. This man is number 24 on the all-time home run list. He has 375 in his career, and I'm sure Rookie's going to move up because Norm Cash, 377. Orlando Cepeda, 379. Frank Howard, 382. Certainly not that far ahead of him as he continues to climb.
Well, he'll hit a lot more before he's done. Now you saw De Leon coming right at Schmidt there, and he's trying to figure out why that pitch was called a ball. It looked like a good one. And Jose asking the home plate umpire, was it a little bit high? I don't think so, but he didn't get the call.
1 ball and no strikes. There is a swing and a miss. I know how you feel about big name hitters against pitchers, new pitchers, who gets the call on a close one.
That's right. They usually give it to the batters that have been around a while, or in Carlton's case, the pitchers that have been around a while.
De Leon has not given up a home run in his first 3 major league starts, and he just threw that one past Mike Schmidt.
Jose has such an easy motion, John, that I think hitters aren't ready for that fastball. He has an outstanding fastball and that sharp, hard curve. He calls it a hard curve, but what it really is a slider.
Pirates have the only 2 hits in the game. Strike 3. Mike Schmidt is gone. Strikeout number 1 for Jose De Leon, and that was an overpowering pitch.
Well, there's a good case of coming right at the hitter. And look at this. It tailed up and in. Schmidt, by the time he thought about it, tried to hold up. It was too late.
We're going to pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Pittsburgh Pirate Television Network.
KDKA TV 2, Pittsburgh.
First pitch to Joe LaFay is a strike. Joe is 1 for 1 in the series, batting .346 on the year.
You see Von Hayes on deck. Joe LaFay has really been an outstanding role player for Philadelphia. He can play a lot of positions, and now with the right-handed pitchers Phillies seeing, they use him in right field a lot as a platoon player.
Well, LaFay, since coming to Philadelphia, and this is his 53rd game in a Philly uniform, is batting .364, so he's certainly doing the job. Away to Joe LaFay. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score from Veterans Stadium. Happy to have you with us tonight. Hope to see you again Friday night from Montreal. Off the end of the bat foul. Count remains 2-2.
St. Louis, by the way, already beat Chicago in extra innings, so the Cardinals have gained a half a game. They were 5 games out going into this afternoon's play, so depending on this one, decide whether they gain another half or go back to where they were.
And of course they had lost 8 in a row until today. An important win for the Cardinals in extra innings. Count goes full on LaFay. It's 3-2. Payoff pitch is coming up from Jose De Leon, and he takes too much time for Joe LaFay, who backs out. And we welcome our network stations, WJAC TV in Johnstown, Altoona, WSEE in Erie with us tonight. Here's the 3-2. Called strike 3. 2 in a row set down on strikes by De Leon.
You think LaFay knew it? He just dropped his bat turn. Watch this. That ball, a tailing fastball, caught most of the outside part of the plate. LaFay looks at the umpire and he's saying, please don't call it a strike. He knew it was. Good pitch.
An excellent pitch, and here is Von Hayes batting .270 with 5 homers and 21 runs batted in. Takes ball 1. Also on the network tonight, in addition to WSEE in Erie and WJAC in Johnstown, Altoona, KDKA TV, our flagship station in Pittsburgh, WVAH in Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia, WKBN in Youngstown, Ohio, and WDTV in Clarksburg, Weston, West Virginia. So we've got the full load on tonight, and happy to have all of you with us.
Well, let's see if the Pirates can pull this one out. By the way, you wonder why Joe LaFay might let that pitch go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, because he's looking in a zone. He wanted that ball from the middle of the plate in, and his idea was to try and get something to drive. I think he wanted to try and hit it out of the park.
Well, that battle went to De Leon. He has struck out the first 2 batters here in the 2nd inning, and Von Hayes now with a count of 2-1 on him. It's evened out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, I think every time for De Leon is going to be a learning experience. For example, the last game he lost to the Expos 7-1. He was in situations that he hadn't been in his first 2 major league games. Certainly learning something each time out.
And learning the hitters.
Kind of a weak line drive to Lee Mazzilli at first. 1-2-3. The Phillies are gone in the 2nd. We'll go to the Pirate 3rd. Marvell Wynn, Jose De Leon, and Lee Lacy coming up. No score after 2.
Over the years, you've trusted Thrift Drug for more than 200 million prescriptions. Now you can trust us for home health care equipment, too. Introducing Thrift Care, a whole new RX service from Thrift Drug. One call does it all. Free delivery and setup, 24-hour emergency service, and we bill Medicare or your insurance company for you. Call 800-532-4000 for complete home health care equipment. Trust Thrift Drug.
Hi, this is Jerry Lewis for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and these are some of my kids visiting the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales. This year, once again, Anheuser-Busch is pledging over $1 million to MDA. It's all based on sales of Budweiser and Budweiser Light from August 1st through Labor Day. So it's an easy way for you to join in the fight against muscular dystrophy. Look for this display wherever Budweiser and Budweiser Light are sold. And thank you from all of my kids.
Hi, this is Pirate batting coach Bob Skinner and pitching coach Harvey Haddix, here to remind you about Budweiser's Old Timers Day coming up at Three Rivers on Sunday afternoon, August 21st.
Mazeroski, Blass, Burgess, Face, Stargell, Friend, Rooker, and of course Skinner and Haddix are just a few of the many former Pirate players that will be on hand before the current Pirates play the Cincinnati Reds at 1:35.
That's Sunday, August 21st, Budweiser's Old Timers Day.
Marvell Wynn opens up the third inning. Marvell working on an 11-game hitting streak as he steps up against Steve Carlton. And with the left-hander on the mound, Marvell moved down into the number 8 spot in the order. He drives it to left field. Coming on quickly is Gross. Did he make the play? Yes, he did. Gross picking one off the top of the artificial surface at Veterans Stadium. A good catch, and out number 1.
Looked like he was fooled a little bit here because he draws up just at the end there. Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't make that catch, the ball by him, you know Marvell's going to end up on third, and who knows, he might have circled the bases, but didn't work out that way.
1 out. De Leon takes strike 1. As a batter, Jose is 0 for 11 in a Major League uniform. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Carlton misses inside, Lefty going to the fastball against De Leon. Fouls it away.
That's the moral victory. Nice catch up there.
Rolls it foul.
By the way, Carlton's last time out, John. Now, Steve pitching against a rookie tonight. The Cardinals called up a right-hander. Carlton started against him, and the kid matched numbers. Lefty pitched 11 innings and did not allow a run. The Phillies eventually won that game. I should say lefty pitched 9 innings, did not allow a run. Phillies eventually won that game 1-0, and Carlton did not get the decision, but the kid's named Danny Cox. He went out there and did a heck of a job.
Look at Paul Owens, who's the new manager of the Phillies. Out on, just got a piece of it. De Leon is still alive. Paul's record since taking over is 14-9. The Phillies since the All-Star break are 19-15. The Pirates since the break are 23-12.
Whoops.
Strike 3 on De Leon. Throw to first to record the out. Strikeout number 3 for Carlton.
He's just amazing, I'll tell you.
Here's Lee Lacy, who flied out to center to open the ball game. Second time around against Steve Carlton for the Pirate batting order. Lee Lacy has 73 hits this year. Kicks inside, ball 1. Carlton is starting for the 27th time this year. Swing and a miss by Lacy. Now 38 years old in his 18th Major League season. His stuff is about the same as it was 18 years ago.
I think his breaking stuff is, but he doesn't throw quite as hard as velocity on the fastball, but you see the sharpness there on that slider. And with the 3 days rest, he might lose just a little bit. Now, if we can get him early in the game, try to get him out of there.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Lacy. Nobody on and 2 outs.
Wow.
Just got a piece of it. Woke some people up, didn't it?
Sure did. Kind of a quiet Philly crowd here tonight. I'll tell you, the first 2 nights, they were rocking and rolling.
Attendance over 37,000 both of those nights here at the Vet. The Phillies are averaging 28,300 here at home. Ground ball to short. De Jesus. Low throw. Gets past Rose. Lacy is up and heading for second. Rose will track down the ball but won't be able to make a play. So the throwing error by De Jesus, and Lacy winds up at second base.
Well, you don't see that happen too often with Ivan De Jesus, one of the better fielding shortstops in the National League, and especially against the Pirates over the years. Now, there you see the throw. He has plenty of time. Rose trying to backhand the ball, but it skidded underneath his glove. So we got a runner in scoring position.
The ball hit the dirt and really didn't come up like Pete thought it would. So again, second time the Pirates have had a base runner at second. The Pirates have had a runner in each of the first 3 innings against Steve Carlton. Chance for Mazzilli now. He had a base hit his first time up.
Philly has played a little, well, shoddy defense in this series. Joe Morgan with a couple of errors last night. Or one costly error last night, I should say, and a ground ball that Jason Thompson hit to him. He got a run out of it.
Strike one to Lee Mazzilli. Mazzilli, as I said, starting for only the second time since June the 12th. Fouls it. As a starter, he's batting .276, and coming into the ball game, he was hitting the ball better from the left side at .265 average than he was from the right side, an average of .196. Lacy is at second with 2 outs. Reached on the throwing error by Ivan De Jesus.
Well, Carlton is in the situation right here where he goes to that #1 pitch. You can look for the breaking ball here.
On the corner. 4th strikeout for Carlton. The Pirates leave a man in the 3rd. For the Phillies in the bottom of the 3rd, it'll be the bottom 3rd of the order. Still zeros on the board at Veterans Stadium.
Did you know the best deal on a phone is right in your home?
Here?
The Bell phone you're already happy with.
This one?
Now you can own it.
Own it? How?
Pay for it once, and it's yours. You could save money in the long run.
Nice. But what do I have to do?
You can continue leasing with maintenance included. But to buy one of these Bell phones, call 1-800-227-5000 for more information.
And it was right here all along. Hello, Mom?
Buy or lease. We give you a choice.
Crab leg lovers, your ships come in. It's Red Lobster's Create Your Own Crab Legs and Seafood Platter. Start with steaming crab legs. Then add any one of 10 seafood favorites. Crab legs and fried shrimp. Crab legs and stuffed flounder. Even crab legs and Icelandic lobster tails. The choice is yours. But hurry, this special offer ends August 28th. Red Lobster's Create Your Own Crab Legs and Seafood Platter. Create yours tonight.
Gulf Super Unleaded. Either you've got it or you don't. The gas with guts.
This is KDKA TV2, Pittsburgh.
No runs and 2 hits for the Pirates as the Phillies come up in the bottom of the 3rd. So far, Philadelphia hitless in the first 2. The Phillies have committed the game's only error. We want to send along best wishes to Joseph and Dorothy Seitz on their 50th anniversary. This note coming to us from Beetle Bailey in Pittsburgh. And it was Sunday, August the 7th, just this past Sunday, that they celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. So best wishes to the Seitz on number 50, and for Cecil and Ollie Stevens of Monroeville, 57 years. Happy anniversary to them as well. Leading off is Bo Diaz. Bo is 3 for 8 in the series, has a couple of RBIs. He is batting .235 on the year. By the way, Cecil and Ollie Stevens say they've been married for 57 years and watching the Pirates longer than that. Obviously, longtime fans. De Leon so far has struck out 2 and walked 1. He walked the first man he faced. He's now retired 6 in a row. That first man on a double play. Gross walked, and then when Rose hit a line drive to Mazzilli, he turned it into a double play. Another note, Mike Easler, 21-day disabled list. Ligament damage to his thumb. That thumb is going to be in a cast for a while. He'll be out for 3 to 4 weeks. Doug Frobel has been called up. Doug will join the club Friday night in Montreal, and Rook, you indicated he will be in there, right?
Chuck Tanner says he's going to put him in left field. Why not?
Popped foul, out of play. Be 1-2 still.
By the way, Bob Kravitz and his family here. Bob from Pittsburgh is on his way to the shore, and he said, well, why not stop by and see a game? So Rocky, his son, he has his wife here, and their parents are check out the Phillies and the Bucks tonight.
Might as well stop here. Save you a little driving, right?
Right on the way.
Friday night, by the way, Larry McWilliams pitches against Steve Rogers, so that'll be a good test for Doug to come up and face one of the National League's top pitchers, Steve Rogers, who leads with 14-6 record. Goodbye. Deep left field. Harper is back to the wall. It's out of here. Home run number 11 for Bo Diaz, and the Phillies lead. That is the first Major League home run allowed by Jose De Leon, and Diaz got all of it.
Well, let's see what kind of a pitch. It looked like the breaking ball, that it was up, and that's what the hitters get paid for. They hit those pitches up in the strike zone. That won't be the, well, it's the first, and it won't be the last. Aggressive pitcher like Jose De Leon, he'll give up a few, but he'll win a lot of games, too.
Ivan De Jesus takes strike one. He's 2 for 6 in the series, batting .249 on the year. 1-0 Philadelphia here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Fouls it back, and De Leon is 0-2. You know, as I mentioned a while ago, Rook, I think part of the learning process for any young pitcher is to learn how to adapt to the situations, what happens during the course of the game, how to adapt what you do on the mound compared to what kind of stuff you have that night, because it's not the same every time you go out.
No, you might not have your sharp breaking ball, or your fastball might not be as good, but you just try to, well, you have to be a little flexible out there at times. And again, it's up to your catcher, too. You know, you might be throwing hard some night, or you think you are, and not have the good life to your fastball or the sharpness to your breaking pitch. So that's when your catcher has to recognize that and work around it.
Got him on strikes. That's 3 for De Leon. I believe that's the Jug's gun, right, Rook?
That's what it looks like.
I have not seen any indication of how hard anybody's throwing tonight.
Well, those are good and they are bad. I believe that scouts that use them, you know, you can get an idea of how fast a pitcher can throw the ball, but that gun will not say how sharp his curveball is or how much his fastball might move. So even though you can get an idea of velocity, but hey, there are guys out there that don't throw that hard that are still successful because they know what to do with the ball.
Carlton fouls it away. That final this afternoon, St. Louis 9, Chicago 5 is the final score. Other games, Cincinnati leading Los Angeles 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Montreal is on top of New York. I believe it's 2-0 in the 4th inning was the score. We'll keep an eye on what the Expos and the Mets are doing. Hey, the Mets have surprised some people since we left them with that little doubleheader gift there.
Yeah, they've been hot.
Carlton is down on strikes. Tony Peña will tag him for the out. So 4 now for Jose. He did not have a strikeout in the first inning, but he struck out 2 in the second and 2 here in the third. The second 2 strikeouts here in this inning coming after Bo Diaz had hit a home run. Gross walked to start the ball game off, batting for the second time tonight. 303 is season average. Something else that Brooke and I were talking about before the game is the lack of left-handed hitting on the Phillies. It was a problem last year, and they really didn't do anything about it.
Not really. They don't have any real power from the left side on this ball club. And because Gary Matthews, Maddox, and others haven't really put the numbers on the board they're used to, Paul Owens now is going with pretty much a platoon system with his outfield. Tonight it's an all left-handed hitting outfielder. You have Greg Gross here, also Von Hayes and Joe LaFay. When Candy pitched the other night, you had Dernier, Maddox, and Matthews, all right-handed hitters.
chopped foul at home plate. And with the left-handed outfield, that also means that there are no left-handed bats on the bench for Owens to go to.
Right. You even look down in their bullpen. This ball club predominantly right-handed. Their best team is on the field when they're hitting well enough. Let me put it that way. And in their bullpen, they do not have a left-handed starter. Holland, Hernandez, and McGraw, all the lefties out of the bullpen. They can start. Now, Holland and Hernandez have started, but they're here to be the relief pitchers.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Gross. Now it goes full at 3-2. Talking with Dave Parker before the game about his game-winning home run last night against Holland. He and Holland are very close personal friends, and they were talking about that home run before the game today. Ground ball. Morrison near second base on the first side, retired. A home run off the bat of Bo Diaz has given the Phillies the lead. We have played 3. We'll go to the Pirate fourth. Bill Madlock, Jim Morrison, and Brian Harper will try to get it back. It's the Phillies 1 and the Pirates nothing.
Sodium can turn up where you least expect it. Even in your antacid tablet. Your antacid tablet. If you're concerned about sodium, what antacid do you take? Tums is sodium-free, and it also neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. Tums lets you do without the heartburn and without all that sodium.
This Bud's for everyone who takes on the heavy loads.
This Bud's for you.
Just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Participating advertisers in the next 3 innings are your local McDonald's restaurant. It just takes 2, McDonald's and you. Your locally owned and operated AMCO transmission shop. And Nissan and your greater Pittsburgh area Datsun dealer. They're driven to save you money. 1-0. Phillies lead it here at the Vet. And here's Lanny.
All right, John, thank you very much, and a very pleasant good evening, everyone. The Diaz home run in the bottom of the 3rd, giving the Phillies a 1-0 early lead. Bill Madlock, Jim Morrison, and Brian Harper due here in the 4th. Dog hitting .328, started the day point behind George Hendrick. Madlock flied to right his first time up. John Candelaria was on ABC's Good Morning America this morning. Base hit. Just out of the reach of DeJesus. Well, Madlock has the 3rd Pirate hit. Bill Madlock, no question about it. He'll make a run at the batting championship in the likes of George Hendrick and Al Oliver. Just out of the reach, DeJesus had been playing a couple of the Pirate hitters deep in the hole on the left side. Here's former Philly Jim Morrison. Morrison and Harper have not seen a lot of action in the last couple of weeks. The fact that the Pirates went up against 15 straight right-handed starting pitchers. Morrison's batting .354. Called strike. Carlton with 4 strikeouts. On the other side, Jose De Leon with 4. Phil's 1, Pirates nothing. One ball, 1 strike. Carlton run that sharp breaking pitch into a right-handed batter and then come back and throw the tailing fastball, try to hit the outside corner. Madlock is on at first after the leadoff single. Rose holding dog on. Al Monchek, first base coach. Great news for the Moncheks today. They are proud grandparents. First grandchild for Al and Audrey Monchek as their daughter Trona gave birth to a baby girl this afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Amanda Jean Carter, born in Raleigh, North Carolina, 2:30 this afternoon. First grandchild for Al and Audrey Monchek, and our congratulations to them and their daughter Trona. Steve Carlton. Pitch to Morrison, fouled away. Carlton 35 and .322 lifetime against the Pirates. The Bucks have beaten them only twice now since 1977. Morrison holds up on the breaking pitch, low and inside. It's 2-2. Jason Thompson, Johnny Ray, Dave Parker taking the night off. Chuck Tanner putting the extra right-handed batters in the lineup. Matlock at first. Nobody out. We're in the top of the fourth. The Phillies have a 1-0 lead. And now it's a full count. 3-2 on Jim Morrison. Bo Diaz turning and questioning the call by home plate umpire Paul Runge. Might be questioning the count. I see Runge now holding up the count, holding up the fingers. Scoreboard's got 3-2. And that's what Paul Runge's got. See if Matlock is running on this 3-2 pitch with nobody out. Throw to first base, had Dog leaning, but Bill just got back in time. Now Carlton balked with Mazzilli at first base in the first inning, and then Carlton picked off Harper in the second and had Matlock leaning. Kind of tough to get a real good look at that move by Carlton from the center field camera, because you don't really get a good angle on that kick of Carlton. But Matlock was leaning and just did get back before the tag. Bill was not that far off the base. They think Bill's running here. 3-2, nobody out. Phillies 1, Pirates nothing. Bo Diaz with a home run in the bottom of the third. Morrison waiting on the payoff pitch. Matlock's running. It's high, ball 4. Bill did not get a good jump off first base as Carlton came quickly to the plate. That's the first walk issued by lefty. The running mates are Matlock and Morrison. Nobody out of the fourth inning. And that brings Brian Harper to the plate. Brian singled on a 3-2 pitch in the second inning. Brian Harper with 2 home runs last year, one off Dave Dravecki, the other off Steve Carlton.
Left center, Brian Harper.
Harper butting. Carlton wanted to go to third. Nobody there. Throw to first. Threw it away. Matlock around third. He'll score. Game tied 1-1. On the play, Morrison moves to third, and Harper down to second. Carlton wanted to go to third base, but Schmidt was coming off the base, and Schmidt was pointing to first, and Carlton's throw was not on target. You see Carlton looking to third, then throwing off balance in the direction of first base, but the throw was to the home plate side and kicked away. So Matlock scores. It's a 1-1 ball game. Error charged on pitcher Steve Carlton. And nobody out. Tony Pena, the batter. Have to double check the sacrifice, but I would have to think it would be in order. Second and third, nobody out. Tony Pena fouls it off, strike one. Tony flied to right field in the second, and Tony got a little bit of that foul ball on his left foot. And he'll just have to try to walk it off. Tony Barterome, Pirate trainer, comes out to see if he can't be of some assistance. Must have gotten him in one of those toes on the left foot. St. Louis snapped its 8-game losing streak this afternoon. The Redbirds scored 4 runs. We take a look at the foul ball again that just came off the left foot of Tony Pena. 4 runs for the Cardinals in the 13th inning as they beat the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field 9-5. Lonnie Smith and David Green had home runs for the winning Cardinals. St. Louis snapping the 8-game losing streak. Dickie Knowles was the Chicago loser. David Rucker was the St. Louis winner, and John Stuper picked up a save in that game at Wrigley. San Francisco is leading Atlanta 7-4 in the ninth inning in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. Darrell Evans with a 3-run homer in the ninth inning for the Giants. That gives him 23 on the year. Here it's a 1-1 ball game. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Madlock led off the inning and singled. Morrison walked, and then Harper with the bunt, third base side that Carlton fielded and then threw away. On the play, Madlock scoring from second, Morrison moving to third, and Harper ending up at second base.
And we checked the scoring on that, Lanny. They have given a base hit on the bunt. Not a sacrifice, so credit Harper with a base hit. The run scores on the error.
And the error allowing Madlock to score. Pitches inside to Pena. 1-2. So that is now 4 hits for the Pirates and 2 for Brian Harper. That's even better. I was trying to politic for the sacrifice. He got the base hit.
You were more generous than you were going to be, right?
That left foot is still bothering Tony. He steps out a moment. Philly infield playing back. Looks like they're going to concede a run to get the out. 1-2 pitch. Tailing fastball, just missed. Diaz with a home run on the bottom of the third for the Phils, but the Pirates have gotten it back here in the top of the fourth and threatening to get more. 2-2 pitch. Grounded to third. Schmidt holds Morrison at third, fires across to Rose, and 1 down. Jimmy Morrison took a couple of steps off third base, but elected not to break for the plate, and Schmidt looked him back to third. Fired across to Rose, 1 down.
And if you're the Phillies, that's exactly what you wanted, because if he hits it to short or second, they're going to concede the run and get the out at first. That way they get the out and keep the runners where they are.
Ball was hit sharply to Schmidt. No chance for Morrison to try to break for the plate. Here's Dale Berra. Pirates shortstop looked at a called third strike in the second. And now with first base open and Marvell Wynn, the left-handed batter, on deck, they're going to intentionally walk Berra, load the bases, set up the double play possibility, and face the left-hander Marvell Wynn. In the American League today, Seattle beat Oakland 7-5. Matt Young the winner, Gorman Heimuller the loser. Ed Vandenberg picked up a save, and Renicky and Allman had home runs in the game. Baseball news today, the New York Yankees trading Jerry Mumphrey to the Houston Astros for Omar Moreno. Omar in his first year with the Astros and not happy with the scheme of things as set down by Bob Lillis, and so Omar Moreno acquired by former Pirate farm director Murray Cook, now the general manager of the Yankees. Moreno acquired from the Houston Astros. 1-1 ball game, top of the fourth inning. Marvell Wynn fly to left in the third. Came into this game with an 11-game hitting streak, longest on the season. Bill Madlock with a dozen. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Speaking of the Yankees, they beat Toronto this afternoon 8-3. Dave Righetti won number 13. Jim Gott lost his 10th. Scoreboard here in Philadelphia says no homers or dead goal. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Down low, 1-1, referring of course to the incident the other day in Toronto where Dave Winfield was arrested for killing a seagull at Toronto Stadium.
Tell you, with the Yankees, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Billy Martin's suspension, the George Brett game, or the Pine Tar game that they were supposed to replay now on August the 18th.
See the highlights from Chicago yesterday? There was apparently a parakeet on the field at Wrigley Field.
I saw that. Whatever happened to the pennant races anyway?
Well, they're right with us. 2 balls and a strike on Marvell Wynn. Bases loaded, 1 out, a 1-1 game. Good sharp breaking pitch, 2-2. Golden opportunity here in the fourth inning. But Carlton sees the opportunity to escape. Talented left-hander, 295 lifetime wins. Down low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Carlton has taken it to the limit on Marvell Wynn. Jimmy Morrison is at third. Brian Harper at second. Dale Barras at first. Manager Chuck Tanner. Let's see his ball club go out in front against Carlton here in the 4th inning. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Carlton walks Marvell Wynn with the bases loaded, and the Pirates take a 2-1 lead. Jimmy Morrison crosses the plate with the second Pirate run. Marvell Wynn picks up his 16th RBI. Everybody else moves up. Harper to third, Barrett to second.
You just don't see that very, very often, Lanny. You can tell maybe that what Jim Rooker mentioned a little earlier about Carlton not being as sharp, his control not being as good when he's pitching with 3 days rest is when he gets that extra day in. The breaking ball has a tendency to drop out of the strike zone instead of catching the edges.
So now it's Jose De Leon. And the pitch to De Leon called strike. Philly pitching rotation forced to move up a day because Kevin Gross is bothered with an intestinal virus. He was in the hospital the other day having tests being conducted. Here's a strike. It's 0-2. And John Denny pitched very well on 3 days rest last night for the Phillies. Harper's at third. Berra at second. And Marvell Wynn, after the bases loaded walk, is now at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pirates 2 and the Phillies 1. Action on the top of the 4th inning from Veteran Stadium. We'll not see the Phillies after today until September the 9th. Outside 2-2. And keep in mind that in the scheme of things for 1983, the Pirates will finish the 83 regular season right here at Veteran Stadium, September 30th, October 1st, October 2nd. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Carlton. And that makes it 3,621 on the career. 7 in front of Nolan Ryan and Lee Lacy, the batter. Lacy, the 8th Pirate to bat of the inning. He is 0 for 2, fly to center in the first, and reached on an error in the third. Pirates 2, Phillies 1. Carlton back to the full windup. Bouncer to Schmidt. Outside of third, strike 1. Lacy batting .309. The start for Lee tonight, his first since the doubleheader when we were in New York a week ago Sunday. Harper coming down the line from third in foul territory. Lacy slightly closed stance. Carlton 1 strike pitch. What a matchup last night. John Denny and Rick Rhoden, they both deserve better fates. Came away with no decisions. Foul ball, 1-2. Dave Parker's home run off the scoreboard last night won it for the Pirates. What a shot. Dave's home run to the lower left part of the big scoreboard in right center field. Came with Thompson on. The Pirates won the game 3-1, and Kent Tekulve picked up the win. Pirates moved back to within a game and a half. Pirates 2, Phillies 1, 4th inning, bases loaded, 2 down. Von Hayes. Out number 3. So the Pirates in the 4th inning scored 2 runs. 2 hits in the inning. There was 1 Philadelphia error, and the Pirates lead 3. After 3.5, it's Pittsburgh 2, Philadelphia 1.
Inside McNugget Mania. What's behind the popularity of McDonald's Chicken McNuggets? Could it be chunks of tender boneless chicken cooked to a golden brown? Could it be hot mustard, sweet and sour, honey and barbecue, 4 sauces made especially for dipping? Could it be 6, 9, and 20 McNugget sizes?
What is this, a test?
Chicken McNuggets. People come for them in cars, on foot, even on their knees, and they all come to one place, McDonald's.
McNuggets, McDonald's and you.
These travel expenses are outrageous. Look, it's out on the road again, Douglas.
How long you been away this time, Douglas?
Well, I left on the 1st, started back on the 10th,
2
and then...
weeks spending and more spending, but of course in all that time you did make a lot of sales.
One.
You could have made that on the phone.
The phone?
Repeat after me, Douglas. Do business on the phone.
Do business on the phone.
Again.
Do business on the phone.
Again.
Do business on the phone.
We're getting ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. I want to remind our young aspiring Major League broadcasters we're holding our 2nd annual Broadcaster for a Night contest. And we'll have 3 winners join us in the broadcast booth when the Pirates take on the Houston Astros on August the 25th. And if you'd like to be considered, please send us a tape of at least 10 minutes of baseball play-by-play to Broadcaster for a Night, care of our flagship radio station, KDK Radio 1 Gateway Center, Pittsburgh 15222. Any male or female 16 years of age or older who's had no prior professional broadcasting experience is eligible. Employees of the Pirates and Pirate Network stations and their families are not eligible. Rose leads off the bottom of the 4th, takes ball 1. 3 finalists will be selected based on their play-by-play performance. And the deadline for receipt of tapes is August the 19th. So that date is closing in rather quickly. Don't delay, get the tapes into our flagship radio station. Rose down on strikes. It's 0-2. Pete Rose lined into a double play in the 1st inning. Phillies have had just 2 base runners in the ball game. And Rose hit by the pitch, the 0-2 offering, and Rose down to first base. Rose didn't even wait for the call from the umpire.
The ball hit him right on
the right shin.
Yeah, the right bottom part of the leg there. He just watched the ball roll away and then turned and went to first.
Yeah, Jose had him 0-2, but now Rose is on. And Joe Morgan, the batter. Morgan grounded out his first time up. Pirates 2, Phillies 1, bottom of the 4th inning. Pete Rose at first base today happens to be the anniversary of Rose becoming the National League all-time hit leader. Happened 2 years ago tonight. Rose picked up career hit number 3,631 off Mark Littell in St. Louis. There's a strike, 1-1. Montreal is leading New York 4-0 after 5 innings of play at Olympic Stadium. Over the weekend, the Pirates will take on the Expos in Montreal, and the St. Louis Cardinals will be coming into Philadelphia. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Jose De Leon from the Dominican Republic that now lives in Perth Amboy, New Jersey. We're hearing more and more interesting stories about this very talented right-hander. Rose running, 2-1 pitch fouled away. De Leon bypassed his final year in high school. He was eligible after his junior year and sent a letter to the commissioner's office to become eligible, and was eligible for the '79 draft, and was drafted by the Pirates 3rd. Jose De Leon gives credit to Larry Sherry for helping him develop the forkball. That was with Larry in 1977, a couple years before he was actually drafted by the Pirates. Outside, 3-2. A friend of Harding Peterson's drove Jose De Leon and a couple of other prospects to a mini tryout camp at Three River Stadium, and the Pirates kept close tabs on Jose De Leon. 1 on, nobody out. 3-2 on Morgan. 2-1, the Pirates lead. We're in the 4th inning. Rose running, strike 3, throw to second, double play. Out at second base goes 2-6 as Berra makes the tag on the sliding Pete Rose. Strikeout number 5 for Jose De Leon.
And when Morgan missed connections, Pena up and throwing, there was no doubt what was going to happen at second. Rose was out by a long way.
Looked like a pretty good forkball right there from Jose De Leon, and a strong throw from Probably Jose's best friend, Tony Pena. Here's Mike Schmidt. Struck out in the second. Nobody on and 2 down. Pirates 2, Phillies 1. Bottom of the 4th inning. Ball 1. Mike Schmidt with 44 career home runs against the Pirates. Hit 2 in the game Monday night. And leads the National League with 26 home runs. Foul tipped by Schmidt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose De Leon averaging just under 10 strikeouts per 9 innings of work in his first 4 starts, and Jose with 5 strikeouts now in 3 2/3 innings. Strike 3. Schmidt caught looking as De Leon hits the outside corner. After 4 innings of play, Pirates 2, Phillies 1.
Edge Chevy S10 depreciated nearly $1,000 in 1 year. In 7 years, my brother's 77 Datsun depreciated only $1,400. That's why I bought a new Datsun, because Datsun quality pays off where it counts, protecting your investment. And factory-sponsored 8.8 financing makes buying easy. You'll appreciate trucks that hardly depreciate. And that's not a lot of hot air.
See the new 83.5 pickups at your Greater Pittsburgh Datsun dealers.
From Veterans Stadium, it's time now for our Giant Eagle jackpot inning. Cecilia Owens of Pittsburgh is our contestant. We have $1,000 worth of Giant Eagle groceries in the jackpot, plus certificates for 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi Free. Veterans Stadium, they have their new Fanovision video display scoreboard in operation this time. They did not have it hooked up yet the last time we were here. A lot of pretty pictures from the video display scoreboard that is located just about the place that ours is located at Three Rivers, just a little bit off center here at Veterans Stadium. Lee Mazzilli fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. Mazzilli 1 for 2 in the game, single to the first, looked at a called third strike in the third. Only the second start for Lee Mazzilli since June the 11th. The other start was against the Giants in a Sunday doubleheader, Three River Stadium. Doug Frobel has been recalled by the Pirates from the Hawaii Islanders. Chuck Tanner has told us that Doug Frobel will start in left field against Steve Rogers Friday night. Down low, pretty impressive numbers for Doug Frobel at AAA, 304 average. 24 home runs, 80 RBIs. Morgan in shallow right center field puts it away. Mazzilli is out number 1 in the Pirate 5th with the Bucks leading 2-1. That'll bring up Bill Madlock. Mike Easler examined today by Dr. Roger Ferguson, and the hit man has ligament damage in his left thumb and has been placed on the 21-day disabled list. Mike, if you're listening, hope you're resting comfortably. Sorry to hear the bad news, not have the hit man, and also hope that Gene Tennis is resting comfortably. Gene in Passavant Hospital with a very bad back. It was so bad that Gene had to wait a couple of days before flying home to Pittsburgh. Inside to Madlock, ball 1. Talking to some of the Philadelphia folks last night after the game, they were telling me that they think Madlock and the Pirates have the most fun with their Phillie fanatic of any club in the National League.
Now, we don't get a chance to see the other clubs, Lanny, but we know what kind of fun they have on a regular basis here at the Vet.
Ball rolled up the arm of DeJesus, but he picked it off his hip and fired Madlock out at first, 2 down. First base umpire Dave Pallone makes the call, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jim Morrison. Cecilia Owens is our contestant on the Giant Eagle jackpot, inning $1,000 in the jackpot. Bill Madlock, by the way, if you mentioned this or not, John, but Madlock went to Japan a couple of years ago with that National and American League All-Star team, along with Chuck Tanner and Tommy Lasorda, and Earl Weaver went on that trip, and the Phillie fanatic was on that trip. So that's how Madlock got to be pretty good friends with David Raymond, who is the young man who plays the part of the Phillie fanatic.
He had a pretty good bit going tonight. Of course, he always comes to Madlock whenever the Pirates are here. Tonight, Madlock and Pena got him with the water hose, and I mean just drenched him.
2-1. Pirates lead in the 5th. Good sharp breaking pitch. Morrison comes up empty, and it's 0-2. One of the truly great left-handers, Steve Carlton. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 6 for Steve Carlton, 3,622. The Pirates go down in order. No home run in our Giant Eagle jackpot inning, but for Cecilia Owens, we'd like you to have 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi-Free, certificates redeemable at your grocer, and our next Giant Eagle jackpot inning will be worth $1,100. After 4.5 from the Vet in Philadelphia, Pirates 2, Phillies 1.
The only difference between these 84 Corvettes is the gasoline they're using. This one accelerates faster with Amoco Premium Lead-Free. It's the highest octane lead-free you can buy, and the same high-performance gasoline that helps solve engine problems like knock and run-on in your car. You expect more from Amoco, and premium performance is one way you get it.
You've always known that Giant Eagle's a great place to save. But what you may not know is that it's now a great place to withdraw, deposit, and more. Giant Eagle presents Cash Stream, the machine that lets you do your banking where you do your shopping. This one machine lets you withdraw, deposit, check your balance, and much more because it connects you with your account at over 50 banks around town. But it's only available at one major supermarket in town, Giant Eagle. Cash Stream. Now, you don't have to go to the bank to go to the bank.
It's a long drive going foul. If your transmission's gone foul after a long drive, see your local AMCO dealer.
A free Labor Day concert at the Point with sensational Dionne Warwick.
The Pirates lead by a run. Bottom of the 5th inning for the Phils. It'll be Joe LaFay, Von Hayes, and Bo Diaz. Philly run on the bottom of the 3rd on the home run by Bo Diaz. His 11th of the year. Pirates came up with 2 runs in the 4th, took advantage of a Carlton throwing error to get Madlock home, and then Morrison scored from 3rd on the bases-loaded walk to Marvell Wynn. In the American League tonight, Boston leads Texas 1-0 in the 5th. Mike Smithson for the Rangers against Bruce Hurst to the Red Sox at Fenway. Ball 2 to LaFay. Cleveland 4, Baltimore 0 in the 4th. Orioles have lost 4 in a row. They have a half-game lead over the Tigers in the American League East. Three balls, no strikes. Jose De Leon has walked 1 in the first 4 innings. That was Gross back in the 1st. Strike makes it 3-1. Chicago and Detroit tonight, being held up by rain at Tiger Stadium. Probable pitchers, if they do get started, Randy Martz and Dave Rozema. Well, LaFay walks on 5 pitches. That is the 3rd free pass issued by De Leon. 2 walks and a hit batsman. Only other base runner for the Phillies was Diaz. He hit the home run on the 3rd. The Diaz home run, the only Philadelphia hit.
Center fielder Von Hayes.
Here's Von Hayes. He lined out to first baseman Mazzilli in the 2nd. So far, De Leon has faced only one batter over the minimum number. Well, not counting the walk here in this 5th inning, it's 2 over the number. Left center. Ryan Harper is right there. Puts it away, 1 down. Gross was out of the 1st inning. He was erased, part of a double play. Rose reached on a hit batsman of the 4th, and he was caught stealing. Let's go back and look at the 2-2 pitch from De Leon to Diaz in the 3rd inning, as Diaz went long ball for his 11th home run of the year. So Diaz steps in. Pirates 2, Phillies 1, bottom of the 5th inning. Milwaukee has failed to score in the top of the 1st at Kansas City tonight. Moose Haas 9-2 against Paul Splittorff 9-4. Later tonight will be Minnesota at California. Bobby Castillo against Jeff Zahn. Strike 1. The Yankees beat Toronto 8-3 this afternoon. Dave Righetti over Jim Gott. Dave Winfield picked up his 17th game-winning RBI. Seattle beat Oakland 7-5. Matt Young the winner. Ed Vandenberg picked up the save, and Gordon Heimuller the loser. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
You know, you recall, Lanny, the last time Diaz hit a breaking pitch that was up, and he hit it out of the ballpark. This time De Leon has come with 2 fastballs and is just challenging Diaz.
Out in front, 0-2. Fastball down low, 1-2. Pirates going with 11 pitchers. Jose De Leon came up when Steve Nicosia went on the disabled list. Pitch out. Runner LeFay not going, and it's 2-2. Pirates trying to guess along with the Phillies. Ivan De Jesus is on deck here in the 5th. The Pirates have a 2-1 lead. Breaking pitch on the check swing. They appeal to Dave Pallone, but he sustains the ruling of the home plate umpire Paul Runge, so now it's 3-2.
Tony was kind of doing a tap dancing routine away from the batter's box, and still at the same time thinking, let's appeal it at first, and he was trying to appeal while he was staggering toward the Philly dugout.
Now let's see what De Leon throws now. Good chance that LeFay will be running on the 3-2 pitch with 1 away. The Pirates have a 1-run lead here in the 5th inning. LeFay is going. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw to second base. In time. Double play. And Morrison slightly shaken up. Jim might have been spiked at second base, but the strikeout of the caught stealing. Second time that Pena has gunned down a would-be Philadelphia base thief. The Phillies do not score in the 5th. After 5, Pirates 2, Phillies 1.
Olympic stain. We've got the inside on outside protection. Inside every can of Olympic stain with weather screen are specially treated oils and additives that actually repel water and preserve wood. Inside every can is the experience of over half a century. That's why Olympic protects the outside of more homes than any other stain. Olympic stain. We've got the inside on outside protection.
Some things speak for themselves.
This is Brian Harper and Jim Morrison for Home Sports Entertainment Tote Bag Day, coming up at the stadium on Sunday, August 28th. If you are one of the first 15,000 fans who comes to our 135 game with the Atlanta Braves, you'll receive one of these Canvas Pirate tote bags free from HSE. Jim and I love our tote bags because you can put just about anything in them and carry them with you wherever you go. So get here early on Sunday, August 28th for HSE Tote Bag Day.
Brian Harper leads off the top of the 6th inning. Harper 2 for 2 against Carlton tonight. Singled in the 2nd, bunt single in the 4th. Takes ball 1. National League, after 6 innings of play, the Expos lead the Mets 4-0. Mike Torres 6-12 for New York. Bill Gullickson 10-10 pitching for Montreal. Cincinnati 4, Los Angeles nothing after 4. Dan Billardello, a 2-run homer for the Reds, 4th of the year, staking battery mate Bruce Bereni to the 4-0 lead. Bert Hooton started for the Dodgers. Pat Zachary in the 4th. That's 2 balls and a strike on Brian Harper. San Diego has failed to score in the top of the 1st at Houston. Dave Dravecky against Bob Nepper. Dravecky with a chance to become the National League's 2nd 14-game winner. Final scores. San Francisco on the Darrell Evans 3-run homer in the 9th inning beat Atlanta 7-4. Greg Minton the winner. Gary Lavelle picked up his 13th save. Steve Bedrosian the loser. Joel Youngblood also homered for San Francisco. Fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. And the Cardinals with 4 in the 13th inning beat the Cubs this afternoon 9-5. David Rucker over Dickie Knowles. John Stuper picked up his first save. Lonnie Smith and David Green with home runs for the Cardinals. 2-2 pitch. Bouncer over the head of Joe Lynette. Pirates will be in Montreal over the weekend, and then on Monday will open a 13-game homestand. New York Mets will be in Monday night and Tuesday afternoon of next week. Operators standing by right now at Three River Stadium at 323-1150 to accommodate your ticket request for a 13-game homestand. Don't forget, Johnny Bench will make his final Pittsburgh appearance when the Reds come in next week. 2-2 pitch, fouled away. The Reds will be in Thursday the 18th at 7:35. Next Friday the 19th at 7:35. Then Saturday night at 7:05. That'll be the night the Pirates will salute Johnny Bench. And then on Sunday, a 1:35 game against the Reds, Sunday the 21st. Shot to third. Schmidt bounces it by Rose. Harper on his way to second, and he'll make it. Brian Harper ends up at second base. Ball was hit right at Mike Schmidt. He had plenty of time.
He really did, Lanny. The ball was hit very hard. I don't think Mike realized he had it for a minute. Then when he straightens up, he has all day. But they're making it tough on Pete Rose. This is the second one that's been short hopped to Rose. And for the second time, the runner goes all the way to second on the play. So it's 3 errors in the ball game on the Philadelphia Phillies.
Pirates have a 2-1 lead. Took advantage of the Carlton error in the 4th inning to get the first Pirate run, and then the bases loaded walk to Marvell Wynn forced in Jim Morrison with the go-ahead run for the Pirates. Here's Tony Pena. Runner at second, nobody out. Fouled off, strike one. We'll pause 5 seconds for station identification. It's great to have you with us tonight on the Pittsburgh Pirates Television Network.
KDKA TV2 Pittsburgh.
Runner at second, Brian Harper. Nobody out in the 6th inning. Pena shows bunt. Throw to second by Diaz. And DeJesus saved what might have been a wild throw. Almost got Brian Harper. Pretty good play by the Phillies shortstop. Strong arm of Bo Diaz.
He really had to straddle Brian Harper in order to make the catch. Diaz just kind of buzzes it right on past Carlton. And there you see it's behind Harper. DeJesus has to come down on top of Brian to make the play.
1 ball and 1 strike on Tony Pena. Harper at second. 2-base error charge to Mike Schmidt. Infield moving. Pena bunts it into the Philly dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony trying to move Brian Harper to third, put him on the front door with less than 2 outs. And Chuck Tanner will do now, probably take the bunt off with 2 strikes. Ball gets away. Well, Tony was unable to bunt him over, but the pitch from Carlton that got away from Diaz moves him up to third base.
So that eliminates the need for the bunt because now you have that third run in scoring position. Let's see where the ball is. It's a slider down in the dirt. One hops the catcher Diaz. Bo's not able to come up with it, and so Carlton is charged with a wild pitch.
Carlton with 6 strikeouts has walked 3, 1 intentionally. Thrown his first wild pitch of the game. Runner at third, and the Philly infield playing up. Not even with the bases with the exception of Rose, but very close to it. Foul away, pitch away, and Tony just slapped it into the seats coming down below the auxiliary scoreboard. Pirates 2, Phillies 1, top of the 6th. Well, if Bucks can make it 2 out of 3 here in Philadelphia, that would be a good start for the road trip. Harper sitting on the front door with nobody out. Now it's 3-2 on Tony Pena. What a great National League Eastern Division race. 4 clubs. Chuck Tanner does not discount the Cubs. Let 4 clubs right there in the race. Interesting article the other day here in Philadelphia. Whitey Herzog sounding very pessimistic about his Cardinals' chances, and of course the bad news the other day that Tommy Herr is out. Look at Jason Thompson and Dave Parker, 2 of the Pirates that are not in the lineup for tonight's game, but they'll be in there against Steve Rogers Friday night. Dave Parker alongside of Jose De Leon. There was Larry McWilliams that was sitting up on top of the bench. Larry Mack will go against Steve Rogers on Friday night. Payoff pitch. Fine play by De Jesus, and throws Pena out. Brian Harper did not break from third.
Indeed, it was a fine play. The ball is hit pretty hard, and remember, De Jesus is playing in. He has to go quickly to his left, right himself. He really didn't give much thought to Brian Harper. He went to first base with it all the way. Brian kind of hesitated, then went back to third.
I think if Brian were to do it again, he would have gone on that particular play. The fact that the ball was hit to the Phillies shortstop's left, he had to take a couple of steps and was moving away from the third base home plate area. Now they're going to intentionally walk Dale Berra for the 2nd time in this game. That'll put runners at first and third. Yeah, they intentionally walked Berra in the 4th inning, but Carlton walked Marvell Wynn and forced in the go-ahead run for the Pirates. Bucks lead 2-1 here in the 6th inning.
And we'd love to see him cash this situation is because you really can't get enough runs against Carlton. We saw it the last time that he faced us, Lanny. He again was pitching on 3 days rest. We had a lead in the ball game, but we're not able to hold it. So you've got to get your runs when you can against Steve Carlton. You get the opportunity, you need to bring it in.
Center fielder.
Phillies have not been supporting their great left-hander very much this year. 11 times that he's been beaten, they scored him only a total of 20 runs, so less than 2 runs in each of those losses. An average. Marvell Wynn takes a strike. Marvell flying to left in the 3rd, walked in the 4th. Runners at first and third. Fouled off the end of the bat. It's 0-2. And Jose De Leon is on deck. Here in the 6th inning, Harper reached second base on the throwing error by Mike Schmidt, then moved to third on a wild pitch. Pena grounded to short, and Berra was intentionally walked. Breaking pitch away, trying to get Marvell to chase it. And it's 1-2. Philly outfield playing Wynn as an opposite field hitter. Marvell is batting .289. Back on July 25th, his average had dipped to .237. Bouncer to third. Schmidt's coming to the plate, and Harper's out. Mike Schmidt throwing to Bo Diaz to get Brian Harper at the plate. Scored 5-2.
Here's the play again. It's not hit very hard. Mike is able to get over as it comes off the dirt rather than the carpet. Make the play. He decides to go home. Harper decides to take the collision course with Bo Diaz, but he cannot jar the ball loose.
And that is standard for the Pirates. The Bucks tell their runners first and third with 2 outs to be going because they want to stay out of a double play situation that would end the inning. O'Brien was told that anything besides a comebacker to the mound, you've got to break. Even on the comebacker, he's got to stay alert to that keeping of the Pirates out of a double play situation. De Leon, it's like he hurt his left hand as he took that swing, and De Leon lost the bat handle with the left hand. Strike one. Barras at second with Marvell Wynn at first, 2 down. Outside, 1-1. Yeah, the opportunity earlier in the inning when Pena bounced to DeJesus at the ground ball up the middle that DeJesus threw Pena out on. Harper did not break for the plate on that one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tell you the way things have gone for Carlton tonight, he has to be very pleased at this point. Teammates have not played that well behind him. Not been as sharp as he likes to be, but he's still very much in the ball game. Called strike 3. Now the Pirates make noise but do not score in the 6th inning. No hits, 1 Philly error, 2 Pirates left on base. After 5.5, Pittsburgh 2, Philadelphia 1.
Earl, it's going to take a better pitch crew than us to make this baby turn over.
Let's get to it. Better clean these plugs. Hope the fuel pump's okay. These points. Let's give her a drink, see what happens.
Let her rip.
The red man reaction. Satisfaction.
Hey, it's back to school time. Want to save a little money to spend on your children? Buy Schick Blaze and Listerman mouthwash and you save up to $4. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association gets a donation from Schick and Listerman. So get up to $2 cash and $2 in coupons. And if you want, you can donate the $2 cash to MDA to help my pals even more. Look for details at these store displays. School day, dear our golden rule day. Was that good? Is it, they hate music.
You know, Atari and the Pirates are a lot alike. They both supply the fans here at Three Rivers with plenty of fireworks. The Pirates supply them on the field, and Atari supplies them off the field. And when you put them together, it makes for a great night. Well, that's what we have planned on Saturday, August 20th. We'll be playing the Cincinnati Reds at 7:05, and immediately following the game, all fans will be treated to the first Sky concert ever at Three Rivers. It'll be a night to remember. Saturday, August 20th. Call 323-1150 for tickets.
Back to Veterans Stadium, bottom of the 6th inning. Jose De Leon goes to the mound with a 2-1 lead. And hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up for Philadelphia. Don't forget now, the homestand starts next Monday against the New York Mets. And when the Reds are in town, we've got a big Atari Sky concert coming up on Saturday, August the 20th against the Reds. The Budweiser Old Timers game on Sunday, August the 21st. Operators standing by at 323-1150 to accommodate your ticket requests. And I want to ask you when you call about the stretch season tickets. Chance for you to purchase the 13 September dates as a package and qualify for postseason and World Series, playoff and World Series tickets. And here's Ivan DeJesus leading off the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1. DeJesus struck out on the 3rd. That's a great plan. Sign up, purchase the 13 September dates, and be in position to purchase playoff and World Series tickets. Inside, 1-1. Pirates leading 2-1. Difference of this ball game tonight, the Bucks will either be a half game back or 2.5 out. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. And some interesting possibilities over the weekend with the Pirates going to Montreal and the Cardinals coming into Philadelphia. Three balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 6th inning. De Leon, in 5 innings, has walked 2, has allowed just 1 hit. That was the home run by Diaz in the 3rd. Jose De Leon with 7 strikeouts. Carlton kneeling in the on-deck circle. Watch out. Foul ball into the seats. And it's a full count. Pirates 2 and the Phillies 1. Bottom of the 6th. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Third walk issued by De Leon. This is the 5th time in 6 innings that the Phillies have had a leadoff hitter in an inning on. The only time that they took advantage of the situation was in the 3rd when Diaz homered as the leadoff batter. It was in the 3rd, came on a 2-2 pitch, and was home run number 11 for Bo Diaz. Steve Carlton, bunt situation. Madlock creeping in from 3rd. Carlton struck out in the 3rd. Mazzilli holding De Jesus on at 1st. Carlton shows bunt and takes a strike.
Of course, the double play has been a big help to Mr. De Leon. Rose lining into one and then 2 swinging strikeouts into double plays.
Action in the Philly bullpen. Pitch out. Runner not going, and it's 1-1. Tug McGraw throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen. Madlock is up a couple of steps, quite a few steps at 3rd. 1-1 pitch. Carlton bunts it. Madlock let it roll, and it rolls into foul territory.
Good judgment on Bill's part. I think if he picks that ball up right on the line, he might not get anybody, Lanny, but he decided to let it go foul, and it did.
Thought about going after it right there, and it's not. Let's let it roll. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if the bunt is still on. Carlton looks down at third base coach Dave Bristol. Pirates clutching to a 1-run lead. Bucks won last night 3-1 on the home run by Dave Parker. Pitch out. 2-2. Left fielder Greg Gross on deck. Ball is bunted. It's a good one. De Leon will go to first base to Morrison. Carlton puts down the sacrifice bunt with 2 strikes. Scored 1-4.
Very valuable asset when your pitcher can do that. Stay with a pitch, get it down on a 2-strike pitch, and get the sacrifice to take place. Move that runner up.
A runner at second, and Greg Gross the batter. Gross walked in the 1st inning and grounded out in the 3rd. Montreal leading New York 4-0 in the 7th inning tonight. The Cardinals beat the Cubs 9-5 in 13 innings this afternoon. Outside, ball 1. Former Pirate Omar Moreno traded by the Houston Astros today to the New York Yankees for Jerry Mumphrey. Here the Pirates lead 2-1 in the 6th inning. Strike. Greg Gross just this year began wearing glasses. Ivan De Jesus, the runner at second base with 1 out. Ground ball up the middle. Off the glove of Morrison. De Jesus scores. It's a 2-2 ball game. Jimmy was trying to cut it off, prevent the ball from getting into center field, and prevent De Jesus from scoring, but it deflected off Morrison's glove, and Gross gets the base hit, and the Phillies tie the game at 2.
Morrison had the right idea. The ball is not hit all that hard back up the middle. De Leon cannot get down to it. He's moving away from it. Jimmy actually has to go on the other side of second. Gets a glove on it, but it bounces too far away, and Berra is not able to get the ball before the run can score. So we start over.
Gross on at first, gets credit for the RBI, his 17th. Pete Rose 0 for 1 plus a hit batsman. Runner going. Rose swings and misses. Strike. Throw to second base. Stolen base for Gross, his second.
Gross got a good jump that time. Penny did not have much of a chance. Short hopped the ball to second, and Gross was in there easily. Morrison did keep the ball in front of him, keep it from going into center field.
So Gross represents a go-ahead run, 1 out of the inning. Pete Rose, 732nd consecutive game played. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Pete Rose with 3,969 career hits. Needs 31 to reach 4,000. Needs 223 to break the Ty Cobb all-time record. 1 out with a runner at second. Mazzilli will take the unassisted putout, 2 away, and Gross moves to third. And that'll bring up Joe Morgan. Here in the 6th inning, DeJesus walked, was sacrificed to second by Carlton, and scored on the single by Gross. And Gross stole second, moved to third on the ground out to first baseman Mazzilli. Action of the Pirate bullpen. Rod Scurry and Cecilio Guante. I like that shot. That was an interesting shot going right from the pitcher on the mound out to the Pirate bullpen. Runner at third, 2 down. Called strike. Two, 4-0 for the Pirates. 2-2-3 for the Phillies. Gross at third with 2 outs. De Leon from the stretch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jose De Leon and Steve Carlton head-to-head at Veterans Stadium. 2 balls, 1 strike. Base hit by Gross here in the 6th inning, only the 2nd Philadelphia hit. The other was the home run by Bo Diaz in the 3rd. Pirates with 4 hits, 2 for Harper, 1 for Madlock, 1 for Mazzilli. Fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball skipping in the box seats on the first base side. Guante and Scurry in the Pirate bullpen, looking ahead to the Pirates' 7th inning, and the top of the Pirate batting order will be due up. Dave Bristol, third base coach. Gross, the runner at third. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Wynn is there and makes the catch. So Morgan flies out to center. The Phillies, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man stranded at third. After 6, Pirates 2, Phillies 2.
There must be an easier way to save. There's got to be an easier way to save.
GB has all kinds of ways to save, from dressing your kids in the newest fashions to finding a great selection of school accessories. And GB makes it easier to save with incredible values on all kinds of school supplies, too. Looking for an easier way to save?
GB, it's got to be GB.
Come to Arby's and submerge yourself in an Arby's sub. An Arby's sub. Subdue that hunger with hearty ham, Italian salami, pepperoni, mellow Swiss, sublimely smothered with fresh lettuce, tomato, onion, dressing, all subsiding on a substantial deli roll.
You say Arby's, Arby's, Arby's.
Arby's submarine sandwich.
You said a mouthful.
Gulf Super Unleaded. Some cars have it, and some cars don't. The gas with guts.
This is KDKA TV2, Pittsburgh.
The next 3 innings are sponsored in part by your local Pepsi-Cola bottler, who invites you to take the Pepsi Challenge. By Gulf Oil and Gulf Super Unleaded. If your car knocks and pings, don't get mad. Get Gulf Super Unleaded, the gas with guts. And by Giant Eagle. If it's not a Giant Eagle, it's just a supermarket. He will lead off the top half of the 7th inning. Lee in the game tonight is 0 for 3. Flied to center twice and reached on an error back in the 3rd inning. A 2-2 ball game. As we head to the final 3 innings, this is John Sanders along with Lanny Fratteri and Jim Rooker. Pirates have 4 hits. The Phillies have but 2, but each one of those hits has brought home a run. The solo home run in the 3rd inning by Bo Diaz. Lacy hits a high fly ball deep right field. Back goes LaFay to the warning track. He'll have room and make the catch. Well, that's out number 1 here in the 7th. Lee will sit down 0 for 4 tonight. Phillies led 1-0 after Diaz hit the home run in the bottom of the 3rd. Then in the 4th inning, a throwing error by Steve Carlton allowed Bill Madlock to score the tying run. And then a bases-loaded walk to Marvell Wynn brought in the go-ahead run. It was 2-1. Phillies tying the game in the bottom of the 6th inning on an RBI single by Greg Gross. That's the way we stand as we go to the 7th. Mazzilli is 1 for 3. He had the first Pirate hit in the 1st inning. Moved to second on a balk by Carlton. Steve has also thrown a wild pitch in the game. Mazzilli fouls it back. Carlton out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. A 2-2 ball game here at the Vet. Hope you'll be with us on Friday night from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Strike 3. That is 8 in the game for Steve Carlton. Second time he's gotten Lee Mazzilli. 2 up and 2 down in the 7th inning. Right on the outside part of the plate, Mazzilli not able to make connections. When you keep looking for that slider and he throws you the fastball away, it's a tough pitch to hit. Catching up on some of the mail that we've gotten, a belated happy 55th wedding anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Francis of Culver, PA. There's that Culver, PA. We celebrated that on August the 3rd, and our best wishes to them. Madlock, high chopper to short. De Jesus cannot come up with it. Madlock will be on. It's a tough play. A chopper to shortstop. We'll see what they rule. Madlock gets credit for the hit. So for Bill, his 2nd hit. Let's take a look at it. It's a tough play because you've got to look up. You might catch part of the lights here in Veterans Stadium. Try to short hop the ball. De Jesus could not do it. Even if he comes up with it, he still is going to have to make an excellent play to throw him out. So it's an infield hit for Madlock with 2 outs. Jim Morrison will be the batter. Jimmy is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 4th inning. He has struck out twice tonight. 5 hits for the Pirates, 2 now for the Phillies. Morrison drives it to center field. Von Hayes to his left. Side retired. A hit, the man left for the Pirates in the top of the 7th. We'll go to the home half of the 7th here in Philadelphia. Schmidt, LaFay, and Hayes coming up. It's a 2-2 ball game at the Vet.
Have you tasted Mountain Dew lately? Now Mountain Dew is smoother than smooth. So you ought to taste it now.
Do it, Mountain Dew. Do it, smoother than smooth. You got a thirst. Smooth.
Now that's smooth.
Outfield straight away with Jones especially deep. Bases loaded. 2 out. Full count. Bottom of the 9th. The pitcher winds, delivers.
Good evening. It's time for the live drawing of the daily number.
Play the daily number. Pennsylvania's favorite sport.
Crab leg lovers, your ships come in. It's Red Lobster's Create Your Own crab legs and seafood platter. Start with steaming crab legs. Then add any one of 10 seafood favorites. Crab legs and fried shrimp. crab legs and stuffed flounder, even crab legs and Icelandic lobster tails. The choice is yours, but hurry, this special offer ends August 28th. Red Lobster's Create Your Own crab legs and seafood platter. Create yours tonight.
Bottom half of the 7th inning at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Mike Schmidt, Joe LaFay, and Von Hayes coming up for the Phillies. It's a 2-2 ball game. I want to acknowledge a very nice letter from Mrs. Dorothy Cato of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a Pirate fan. Indicated her support for Chuck Tanner and the Bucks and the patience that Chuck has shown with the team. It certainly paid off here in the closing stages of the 1983 season. The Pirates very much in the battle, and it's going to be fun from here on out. Schmidt in the ball game tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. There is strike one.
Now we're seeing a little bit of a different Jose De Leon this time out, John, than his last time against Montreal. He's really pitching a good game. Jimmy Morrison almost made a heck of a play for him. That ball by Greg Gross, but he just couldn't cut it off.
If he had kept it in front of him, he probably would have saved the run. It's a tie ball game. Schmidt drives it up the middle. Base hit. Hit number 3 for the Phillies. So the go-ahead run is on for Philadelphia.
Well, anytime that you give Mike, a base hit, you'd concede the base hit to the home run anytime. Pretty good pitch. Look at that. He hit it right on the end of the bat.
But he's so strong, he's able to get it up the middle anyway.
He is. And Dale has to play him to pull the ball, so he doesn't have a chance to cut it off.
So Schmidt is at first, nobody out.
Only their 3rd hit of the game.
But it's the 6th time they've gotten the leadoff man aboard. Here's ball 1 to LaFay with Mazzilli and Madlock charging from 1st and 3rd, looking for the bunt.
Yeah, one thing we have to try and protect here is Mazzilli breaking away from first base too soon, because Mike Schmidt will take a bigger lead. There he goes.
Gross goes the other way. Or LaFay goes the other way. It's up against the wall. Schmidt around 3rd. He will score. The Phillies take the lead. On his way to 3rd is LaFay. He'll stop. It's 3-2 Philadelphia.
Joe LaFay packs a lot of punch, and there he goes with a tailing fastball. Almost hits it out of the park. Let's watch this one now. Brian Harper can't catch up to it. Almost makes a heck of a play. And Marvell just a little bit too close there because the ball kicks over his head. By the time he gets it back in, they have a run in and a run at 3rd.
It's a triple for Joe LaFay to drive in the go-ahead run. He's at 3rd with nobody out for Von Hayes. Now the Pirates bring the infield in. Hayes is 0 for 2. Time is called for a minute. 3rd base umpire Jim Quick coming up the line. And now Pena will go to the mound. Cecilio Guante working in the Pirate bullpen. Pena will have a meeting on the mound with De Leon. Gives us a chance to say happy 58th wedding anniversary to Martha and William Shaner. They celebrated that on August the 5th.
And Richie Hebner wants to say hello to Joey Mayberry. Hope he's feeling better. Hack sends along his best wishes.
Also Ken Burns at the ballpark tonight. Talked to Ken a little bit. He has some greetings for some people.
Good pitch.
Vaughn takes strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Infield in.
This is a strike him out, pop him up right here.
Bo Diaz is on deck. Ivan de Jesus to follow.
Roy.
Throw to 3rd?
Yes.
They got him. LaFay is picked off by Tony Pena.
What a quick play, a quick release by Pena. Let's watch this one again. Watch Von Hayes bunts through the ball, and Pena, he doesn't need much, and all of a sudden, look at the tag by Madlock. He hit him right on top of the head. If Bill tries to go down and get him around the leg or the base, They won't be able to get LaFay, but Madlock with a quick tag right on the helmet. Boy, the Bucks get out of a mess here.
1 out, nobody on now with that run in for Philadelphia. 3-2, the Phillies lead. Swing and a miss, and Hayes is gone.
Well, even to make matters worse, he bunts through the ball. Now he strikes out. But in a situation like this, Phillies have a chance to get that other run, and late in the game an insurance run, and still Steve Carlton on the mound against the Pirates. It seems like lefty's not getting any weaker. Only time you can save that run, I'll tell you, Rick Rhoden did it several times last night to keep the Pirates in the game, and they eventually won it. So right there, Jose De Leon made a good pitch. Pena made a heck of a throw. Madlock made a heck of a tag.
8 strikeouts for De Leon in the game. The batter is Diaz. It was his home run that put the Phillies ahead initially, 1-0 in the third. He struck out in the 5th. We are now on the bottom of the 7th. The Philadelphia Phillies coming up with a run to take the lead. Happy 74th birthday to Ralph Boland, longtime Pirate fan in Beachview. One pitch on the way. Strike 2. Also, best wishes to Bernice Smith of Crafton Heights, who's recovering from surgery. And again, those wishes sent along by Ken Burns. Glad to have you with us tonight on the Pirate Network. 2-2 the count now on Bo Diaz. KDKA in Pittsburgh, WJAC in Johnstown, Altoona with us as always. WSEE in Erie, WVAH in Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia, WKBN in Youngstown, and WDTV in Clarksburg, Weston, West Virginia. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, I mentioned earlier that the Phillies had only scored 11 runs, or I should say in Carlton's last 11 starts. Less than 2 runs, 1.82 average per game. But, you know, in De Leon's last 3 times out, including this one, John, that's 22 innings. The Pirates have only scored 3 runs for him. So a little bit of a tough luck pitcher himself. You know, it's early in his major league career.
Good point.
But he's hanging in there and battling the other club. That's one thing you like to see.
Oh, right back to him. He gets a part of his glove on it and throws him out. Look what he found. Almost tore the glove out of his hand. But it ends the inning. The Phillies get a run on 2 hits. They take the lead. We'll go to the Pirate 8th. It's Harper, Pena, and Berra coming up. 3-2, Phils in Philadelphia.
Some things speak for themselves.
We're your Atari headquarters, and now Vanguard is here for your Atari 2600 system, the smash arcade hit. 6 exciting adventures in one game. 6 different screens to challenge you. Atari offers game systems, games, and accessories, and we're your Atari headquarters. So reach for Vanguard now. It'll give you a real lift. Vanguard, another star from Atari.
This is Brian Harper and Jim Morrison for Home Sports Entertainment Tote Bag Day, coming up at the stadium on Sunday, August 28th. If you are one of the first 15,000 fans who comes to our 135 game with the Atlanta Braves, you'll receive one of these Canvas Pirate tote bags free from HSE. Jim and I love our tote bags because you can put just about anything in them and carry them with you wherever you go. So get here early on Sunday, August 28th for HSE Tote Bag Day.
Here we go with another Giant Eagle jackpot inning for Mrs. Mary Parzik of Brentwood, PA. If a Pirate hits a home run here in the 8th, Mary will pick up $1,100 worth of Giant Eagle groceries plus certificates for 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi Free. Mary Parzik. Brian Harper batting for her in a Giant Eagle jackpot inning. Brian in the ballgame has 2 hits. Single in the 2nd, bunt single in the 4th inning, reached on an error in the 6th inning. So Harper's been on base every time so far. He's behind in the count here, 0-2.
And Steve Nicosia comes down from the Pirate bullpen. Now, Kosha has always had good success against Carlton, so we might see him as a pinch hitter.
Bryan stays alive. You know, Harper did that the last time up. Fouled off 4 or 5 pitches, just stayed alive till he finally got on an error. Hit the ball hard to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt made a good play to come up with the ball and then threw it away.
Well, you know something, earlier in the count, the umpire called that pitch a strike, or one very close to it. Bryan, I'm not saying he got away with one, but usually that's why Lefty went back to that spot, because he got one very close to that spot before.
Another close one, but it's 2-2. How can he take 2 in a row like that, huh?
Well, either he is fooled or he just couldn't pull the trigger.
They were both called balls. Drives it over the glove of De Jesus. Base hit number 3 in the game for Bryan Harper.
And that's the first time in Bryan's major league career that he has had 3 hits in a game.
Picked a good time to do it. He's had a couple of 2-hit games this year. He had a 2-hit game against San Francisco, another against Los Angeles. A 3-hit game. He's on at first. Here's Tony Pena. Tony is 0 for 3, batting for Mrs. Mary Parzik of Brentwood. Giant Eagle jackpot inning, $1,100 in groceries on the line. Like to see him on the table. Inside to Tony, ball 1.
Well, Pena, the workhorse, he's been out there. This is his 103rd game this year. Pirates are playing in their 112th. Dale Berra's played in 110. Dale's only missed 1 game this year. There's a virus in Chicago, so those guys go out there day in and day out and get the job done.
Harper represents the tying run. He will not go too far off the base at first.
Well, he was picked off back in the 2nd inning, so you know he's had second thoughts, or will have them.
Pena batting .294. Drives it to right field. Deep in the right center field area at the wall, making the catch. Now Harper's going to have to retrace his steps. He'll make it back to first. LaFay able to track it down. Nothing to it, he says, as he goes to the wall in right center field to make the play on Tony Pena.
You know, I'm watching him here. It looks like he's saying easy, easy. He made a heck of a play, and this isn't the first time. Watch this. Gets up there. LaFay's about 5'10", 5'11". And this guy really does a heck of a job for Philly. You know, that's the 3rd time this year that he's made a catch against the Pirates. The last time we were in town in right field, he slid and caught one in foul territory down right field. Later in the game, he was playing left field, went off the wall. Now here he goes off the wall. He's been valuable to this club.
Here's Dale Berra. Dale 0 for 1 officially. He's been walked intentionally twice his last 2 times up.
He hasn't had much of a chance to swing the bat tonight, so he hasn't really had a chance to see what Carlton has.
Well, he was called out and then walked twice. Swing and a miss. Carlton out in front, no balls and 2 strikes. We got a very interesting letter from Mr. and Mrs. George Barbas of Vandergrift. They wanted to know if Joe Lynette, the Pirates' 3rd base coach, ever played for the Vandergrift Pioneers. I have the answer to that question. Outside to Dale. Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, I forget what year he said it was, but he batted .306. He caught 140 games, hit 23 home runs, drove in 93 runs, and was an all-star. Called strike 3 to Dale Berra. He has his say with the home plate umpire Paul Runge, but he's out.
Well, let's watch the pitch again. You can be the judge anytime you're Steve Carlton and have 2 strikes on a hitter. Well, I don't know if it was high enough, but I don't know if it was over the plate. It might have been outside. We have a different angle with that camera. That's not straightaway center field, so it's kind of difficult to tell at times. But if you're lefty, and I'll guarantee you, if it's close, he's going to get the strikes. There's no question about it.
Marvell win 0 for 2. Carlton walking Berra twice to pitch to Marvell. The first time it didn't work because he walked Marvell with the bases loaded to force in the 2nd Pirate run. Called strike to win. Last time up, Marvell hit into a force play. And 3rd baseman Mike Schmidt threw out Bryan Harper at home plate. 2 outs, runner at first. We're in the top of the 8th, the 3-2 ball game. There's a called strike. Tell you what, Rook, again tonight we've had the opportunities to get to lefty and haven't been able to put him away.
And it seems like the longer he's in the game, the tougher he gets. Even if he doesn't have his good stuff, he finds a way to beat you.
Wynn stays alive.
Now look at that last pitch. You don't see Carlton do that very often. He dropped down sidearm. He's done it a couple of times tonight. But it's just an indication that he really doesn't have his good stuff, but still he has 9 strikeouts. It's amazing what he can do when he's not on. When he's pitching with 3 days rest.
Marvell fouls it out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mary Parzik of Brentwood is our contestant. $1,100 in our Giant Eagle jackpot inning. The Pirates down by a run. Trying to take the 3rd game of this series, rest up tomorrow, and go get the Expos over the weekend. We'll televise Friday and Sunday on the Pirate Television Network. Check your local listings. Marvell batting .288.
Oh,
that one hit him. Tony Barterome out quickly.
Well, let's see if he says he's all right. Watch the pitch. Oh, boy, that was close. It hit him down on the forearm, below the elbow. There you see Marvell looking at it. But I think he was afraid that the ball might have glanced off his arm and caught his cheek because he was pointing to the right side of his jaw. And there you see him.
I think you're right. It might have, Jim. It almost looked like it went right up his arm. He says he's okay.
Yeah, we're going to get a chance to see Nicosia now. I mentioned he came down to out of the bullpen, and Nick has always hit Steve Carlton very well. I don't have the exact number, but this year, well, Nick hasn't had nearly as many bats against Philly. He's 2 for 5, and I would almost want to say that it was probably a game that Carlton might have started.
You're right. He was 2 for 4 against Steve Nicosia in that other appearance by lefty against the Pirates this year. So those 2 hits were against Steve Carlton. Nicosia takes ball 1, batting for Jose De Leon.
And both those hits were doubles, an extra base hit tonight. In a situation like this, you know Marvell could score from first, and, well, Harper wouldn't have any problem from second.
Swing and a miss by Steve. He gets a good rip, comes up empty. De Leon will get credit for working 7 innings tonight. 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 runs. Steve Nicosia, pinch hitting.
Sometimes you wonder, what is it about a pitcher that one guy can hit so well? You just never have the answer.
Didn't get much of it. De Jesus out deep enough to make the play, and the side is retired. A couple of base runners left on for the Pirates. They do not score. No home run in our Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning for Mrs. Mary Parzik. We have certificates for 24 12-ounce cans of Pepsi Free. Certificates redeemable at your grocer. And when we play again, the Giant Eagle sweepstakes will be up to $1,200. In the Phillies 8th, De Jesus, Carlton, and Gross coming up. Steve and the Phillies on top by 1.
What does it take to excel?
You have my word. You'll get it tomorrow.
It takes reliability, speed, economy. It takes express mail next day service from the post office. Our 2-pound pack is just $9.35. Most others charge about twice that. We deliver over 90,000 packages on time every day.
You're a man of your word. I just got it.
Express mail service. We deliver excellence for less.
For instant fun this year, take 1 part Geauga Lake and just add water. The result is our splashy new water slide, Neptune's Falls and the Undertow. 2,800 feet of twisting, shooting, watery thrills. There's a new beach, too, plus a kiddie pool, a boardwalk, and more. And for the first time ever, you can wear your bathing suit everywhere in the park. So come on out to Geauga Lake and drink it all in.
All the fun with fun, Geauga Lake.
Number 19. Bottom half of the 8th inning coming up from the vet in Philadelphia. Along with Lanny Fratteri and Jim Rooker, this is John Sanders. We have a new Pirate pitcher as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Rod Scurry comes on. And Scurry coming on for the 47th time this year. What about his numbers, Rook?
Well, Rod is 4-7 with 6 saves, an earned run average of 5.30. Rod came on last night, pitched to one batter, gave up a base hit.
So Rod Scurry, left-hander on in relief, one of two left-handers now with Dave Tomlin on the club that the Pirates have in the bullpen. Of course, that hard curveball is his out pitch. His problem this year, Jim, has been control. He's simply tried to overthrow a few times and hasn't been able to get the ball where he wants it.
No, you're just trying a little bit too hard. Rod itself says, I just have that tendency to go out there and, well, just try to overthrow the pitch. And he knows he doesn't have to, but it's just well, you try so hard sometimes, it's hard not to.
Ivan De Jesus leads off. He's 0 for 1.
By the way, I said Rod pitched to one batter. He got an out and then gave up a base hit, so a third of an inning last night.
So Scurry is on in relief of Jose De Leon. De Leon gave up only 4 hits in the 7th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to De Jesus. Kent Tekulve getting the win last night in relief. 2-1. 9-5. St. Louis over Chicago in 13 innings. Montreal leading the Mets 5-1. That game now in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. De Jesus, Carlton, and Gross coming up. There's Steve Carlton in the on-deck circle. He's hung in there and fought the Pirates on the mound. And with 2 strikes in the 6th inning, he was able to get the sacrifice down, advance the runner, and that run came in to score and tie the game at 2-2. You said it the last inning, Jim, that he seems to find a way to beat you some nights.
Well, he's such a competitor. At Carlton, he keeps coming at you, even though he doesn't have his good stuff. That's what makes the great pitchers. They find ways to get you out.
Fouled out of play. This program authorized under television rights granted by the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club Incorporated, intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates is prohibited. Again, he fouls it back. It is still a full count of 3-2. Down the first base line in foul territory, Mazzilli over near the railing. Oh! Cannot come up with it. I hope Lee is not hurt. He went over the tarp that is rolled up in the corner that covers the field.
Well, lucky for Lee that it didn't hit his back. Watch this. He comes up a little bit. Watch now. Up where it just caught his leg, just like being clipped from behind if you're blocking as a football player. So that was lucky right there. If he hits his back solid, then you got a problem. But he seems to be okay.
Well, he'll test his knee a little bit as he walks back to first base with Dave Pallone, the umpire.
He's all right.
Zilli will stay in there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ivan De Jesus. De Jesus, the first batter to face Rod Scurry. Rod can't handle it. Vera has no play.
And they give Ivan De Jesus a base hit on that, a check swing. Let's watch Rod. Natural reaction right there. Well, he tried to turn the glove more backhand. And when he did that, it looked like the ball went underneath the glove. He lost sight of the ball. And by the time it kicked to Dale Vera, De Jesus beat it out.
So he's on at first with nobody out. Carlton will be up there to bunt again. It's a 3-2 ball game. Rod has got to hold him here. Carlton in this game struck out and sacrificed.
And we have Cecilio Guante throwing in the Pirate bullpen.
One ball and 1 strike to Steve Carlton.
I don't think Lefty really likes bunting in this situation. His first move, he's kind of bailing out from Rod.
Slaps it to Madlock. They should go to second. They do. No, through the glove of Dale Berry into center field. Everybody is safe. De Jesus moves up to third. Looked like a routine play at second. The ball got away from Berra. So now the Pirates in a full-blown jam.
Carlton bunted the ball too hard. Madlock came on and made the right play, and he knows that he has plenty of time to get the runner at second. Makes a good throw to Dale, and for whatever reason, there you see it right there in his glove, but he can't hold on to it. It looks like he got his hand in the glove too soon, and the ball hit in his bare hand at the same time.
So the error will be charged to Dale Berra. And actually, Jim, if you look at it realistically here, we should have 2 outs and nobody on. Not that Carlton would have been bunting in that situation, but Rod should have made the play on the ball hit back to him.
Exactly.
They gave De Jesus a hit on that one. Carlton is aboard on the fielder's choice, but the error, Dale Berra moves De Jesus to third. First and third, nobody out.
Well, the Pirates have had a couple of opportunities tonight to get to Carlton and couldn't do it. Now Philly giving a little bit of a break here.
31, Gary Maddox.
So we'll see if they can cash in.
Maddox will pinch hit for Greg Gross. So the Phillies trying to put this one out of reach here in the 8th inning. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Maddox comes to the plate. Gary is 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs in the series and batting .284 on the year. He has 3 homers and 21 runs batted in. The Pirates will bring the infield up. Now some discussion as to exactly how they're going to play it. Berra is standing directly on second base, and Pena calls time. Chuck Tanner will come out and set his defense personally.
Either that or else they were giving Guante maybe a little more time in the bullpen. And so Chuck will call him out and make sure that we don't get the signals crossed. Well, I tell you, there's so many ways to defense a bunt these days. Not that Maddox is going to be up there to bunt. I don't think I would look for it in this situation. Because if you bunt Carlton over, you have your pitcher still on base.
Guante continues to throw. Tanner will stay with Scurry for now.
All right, Maddox will step in, and watch how he spreads out. That batter's box is like 6 feet long, and he takes up almost all of it.
Carlton is the runner at first. De Jesus at third. Ball 1 to Maddox. Swing and a miss. 1-1. There's De Jesus. He reached on an infield hit. Ball probably should have been handled by Scurry. Was not. Roller through the right side. 4-2, the Phillies lead. Pirates had the infield up. Maddox didn't hit it hard enough to break glass, but he got it through the infield.
Well, Mazzilli had to hold a runner at first base, so he really couldn't cut down the angle. Although Lee is breaking off with the pitch, still couldn't head it off. So Maddox comes through. Second time in the series as a pinch hitter that he's got a base hit.
So Maddox gets credit for the RBI. Batter will be Pete Rose. Pete will swing around and bat from the right side. And he's batting better as a right-hander. .313 coming into the game. Only .256 from the left side. Rose is 0 for 2. Lined into a double play. Grounded to first and was hit by a pitch. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2. Rose bunts through the pitch. And it's 0-2. Dave Bristol is the coach at third for the Phillies, flashing the signs to Pete Rose. Still nobody out. Rose bouncer to second. Should be two. Berra for one on to first. Double play. Carlton moves over to third. A 4-6-3 double play. It's the fourth double play in the ball game by the Pirates. And 2 outs with Steve Carlton on at third base.
Second baseman Joe Morgan.
The batter is Joe Morgan now. And as Joe steps in, we'll step out for 5 seconds for station identification on the Pittsburgh Pirate Television Network.
KDK TV2 Pittsburgh.
Two outs with the runner at third now for Philadelphia. The Phillies have picked up their 4th run. Philadelphia with single runs in the 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Pirates scored both of their runs in the 4th inning tonight.
And when we go to the 9th inning, we'll be the top of the Pirate order. So Bucks still have that opportunity to get to Carlton. I think that maybe this time of the game, they're getting a little bit tired, but they still have that good bullpen to work with.
Well, with Hernandez out there and Holland, bring in some good arms. Two balls and no strikes to Morgan.
This is a big out right here. Big out. They lead by 2. Mike Schmidt is on deck. Want to get Joe Morgan out.
3 balls and no strikes. Starter for the Pirates was Jose De Leon, his 5th major league start. De Leon went 7 innings. Rod Scurry has just walked Joe Morgan, and I'm sure that'll do it for Rod. So Rod will get credit for working 2/3 of an inning. 2 hits, 1 run. That run is not earned.
Well, again, the walks hurt Rod. That's what he did last night. Oh no, he gave up the base hit last night, but in this situation, you're down 2 runs, and you have Mike Schmidt on deck, and walking a left-handed batter, Joe Morgan. Well, Chuck decides to go to the bullpen. He wants to go right-hander against right-hander, and you have a guy like Cecilio Guante down there who has that. Well, he can make those right-handed batters give ground a little bit. He's an uncomfortable man to bat off. So we'll see how he handles Mike Schmidt.
Guante will be the new pitcher for the Pirates. Guante will be appearing for the 24th time. 2-0 his record. 4 saves and a 2.98 earned run average. While he comes to the mound, we'll run down the scores for you one more time. This afternoon, Cardinals ended their 8-game losing streak, beating Chicago. 9-5 was the final score. Rucker was the winner in relief. Knowles was the loser. Lonnie Smith hit a home run for St. Louis, his 4th of the year. Green also hitting his 4th of the year. That one came in the 13th inning. That's when the Cardinals scored 4 times to win it 9-5. That's the final. St. Louis over Chicago 9-5. Montreal a winner over New York tonight. 5-3 is the final there. Gullickson the winner. His record now 11-10. Torres the loser. He is 6-13. Reardon picked up the save. Tim Raines got the game-winning RBI. 5-3 the final score. Montreal beats New York. We will face the Expos on Friday night here on the Pirate Television Network. San Francisco a winner over Atlanta 7-4. Minton gets the win. Bedrosian is the losing pitcher. 7-4 the final there. Evans hit his 23rd home run of the year in the 9th inning with 2 on to win it for the Giants. Youngblood also homered for San Francisco. 7-4 the final. San Francisco over Atlanta. They're in the bottom half of the 8th inning in Cincinnati. The Reds leading the Dodgers now by a score of 7-1. Dan Villardello has hit his 4th home run of the year for Cincinnati. For Boston. Top of the 8th inning in Baltimore. It is 4-3. Cleveland leading Baltimore. The Orioles have lost 4 in a row. Chicago, Detroit postponed by rain. And later, it is Minnesota at California for Major League Baseball. Schmidt rolls it foul. Mike in the game is 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the 7th inning and came on to score the go-ahead run for the Phillies as Joe LaFay tripled to drive him in. Well, what do you think, Brooke? Lefty getting tired? Get to him in the ninth?
Well, his key will be to get out of the hitters. If he does that, then he has, well, you like his chances anyway. He's such a competitor. But right now, it's up to Guante. This inning here, you've got to get out of this one without Philly scoring any more. Carlton going to the mound with a 2-run lead is, well, he's happy about that, but I'm sure he'd like as many as he can get. Don't let him get out of hand.
Guante sidearm to Schmidt. Again, he rolls it foul. That one will stay in play in Veterans Stadium. The ball girl will hand it to a Philly fan. Final game of this series. We will not see the Phillies again until September. We finish the regular season right here in Veterans Stadium. 30th of September, 1st and 2nd of October. Sidearmed him again, and he fouled it back. Phillies have 6 hits. The Pirates have 6 hits, but Philadelphia with 4 runs. The Pirates have 2. Runners at the corner. He held up in time. Pena appealed but did not get the call. It is 2-2 now. He'll drop down on him again, Brooke?
Why not? If he does, keep it away.
He did not go sidearm. Misses ball 3. Full count 3-2.
And you have the left-hander, Joe LaFay, waiting on deck. I'm sure he'd like to try and bat here in the 8th inning. Get this man out. Punch him out.
Dave Tomlin, left-hander throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Outside, bases loaded.
Well, if there's anything good about this, Steve Carlton has been on base this whole inning. He was the second batter. He bunted and reached on a fielder's choice, so he's at third now. And it's up to Guante to get LaFay out. LaFay has had a hand in, well, not only scoring a run or driving in a run, but he's saved at least one. Caught that ball that Tony Pena hit in the top of the 8th inning. In fact, Tony's been robbed a couple of times tonight, John, and both times when runners would have scored. De Jesus got him with a ground ball and was back in the 6th inning.
Pitch to LaFay. Deep right field. Back to the warning track is Lacy with some room. Makes the catch. LaFay went deep but could not get it out of the vet. The Phillies score 1. They leave the bases loaded. 9th inning, top of the order for the Pirates. They have some work to do. It's the Phillies 4. Our Pittsburgh Pirates 2. 9th inning coming your way after this.
I had this great dream last night. I was playing outfield, and instead of the ball, I caught variety snack packs from Thrift Drug, just 99 cents. Then I was fishing, and I hooked Sergeant filler paper just 59 cents. In fact, I caught a whole lot of stuff. So when I woke up, I grabbed Mom and took her down to Thrift Drug for their big back-to-school sale.
I've never dreamed of one-stop shopping like this before.
I have. Trust Thrift Drug.
first one on our block to own the brand new Nissan Stanza sedan.
I love this luxurious roomy interior with power windows and 4-speaker stereo with cassette.
So when I drove this front-wheel drive beauty and kept the sticker price, I bought it. Then Jack drove it and bought one. And Bill drove it and bought one. Now we have 3 Nissan Stanzas on our block.
4. Also available in 2- and 4-door hatchback.
Now batting for the Pirates, right fielder Lee Lacy.
Ninth inning, Lee Lacy will lead it off. Gary Maddox is in center field. Kiko Garcia is the new second baseman. Bob Dernier has moved to right. Joe LaFay in left. That's the way they'll play it defensively for the Phillies here in the ninth inning. Lacy is 0 for 4. The Pirates down by 2. We're in the ninth. Lee batting 307. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Under our contractual arrangement, the announcers for this telecast, selected by station KDKA-TV, subject to the approval of the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club, Incorporated. Carlton into the ninth, looking for his 11th win of the year. Lacy, high bouncer, gets through into center field. So the Pirates will bring the tying run to the plate here in the ninth inning. Lacy's first 7 for the Pirates. A high chopper by Lee Lacy. Got enough of the ball to get it into center field. De Jesus not able to run it down. And Lacy is aboard. So that gives the Bucks a shot at it. Lee Mazzilli, who is 1 for 4, had a base hit in the first inning. Bill Madlock, Jim Morrison coming up. The Pirates try to keep it going against Carlton and come back here in the ninth inning. Mazzilli fouls it back, strike 1. Carlton has struck out 9, walked 3. He's hit a batter, had a wild pitch, a balk, a little bit of everything. Walked in a run. You can see that Schmidt is guarding the line at third, playing just behind the base. Up the middle, the Phillies looking for the double play. Mazzilli lays off. It's outside, 1-1. Jim Rooker's been talking about his golf tournament coming up at Champion Lakes on the 22nd. Easter Seal Society will have a golf tournament on that same day. High fly ball right field. LaFay, who is still in right, makes the catch. Dernier is in left, LaFay in right. So 1 out, and Bill Madlock will get a chance.
Bill Madlock.
Bill has 2 hits in the ball game, 2 for 4 tonight. That Easter Seal Golf Tournament to benefit the Somerset County Easter Seal Society. There are a lot of charity golf tournaments going on. It just so happened that this one turned out to be on the same day as Jim Rooker's golf tournament. And this one is at Seven Springs. Madlock drives it deep, but foul. Give me the phone number on that Easter Seal Golf Tournament at Seven Springs. It's $75 if you'd like to play. Bob Robertson will be there. The Pirate Parrot. For those of you in the Johnstown area, Bill Wilson from WJAC will be there. 445-4834. 445-4834. That's the Easter Seal Society of Somerset County, and I will be there for that day, July the 22nd. Or excuse me, August the 22nd. Madlock grounds it foul. If it's July 22nd, we missed it, but it's not. It's August 22nd, coming up in a couple of weeks. Carlton, a man at first, 1 out. We're in the top half of the ninth inning. The Pirates, who took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies last week in Pittsburgh, trying to do the same thing here tonight. They've got some work to do. Inside to Bill Madlock. The Boston-Texas game is final. The Red Sox win it 4-1. It's 4-2 here. Carlton and the Phillies looking for the double play to end it. Madlock looking for a ball to drive to tie it. Hard hit ball, foul outside of third. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bill Madlock. Another souvenir courtesy of the ball girl down the left field line. Steve Carlton trying to go all the way for the 6th time this year. Pitch to Madlock. High fly ball again. It's going to be foul and out of play. So Bill is battling here in the top of the 9th inning. Lee Lacy opened up with a single. Mazzilli flied to right. So now Madlock, who has 2 hits in the ball game and is batting .331, trying to keep it going. Went after it and strikes out. Bill went for the slider in the dirt. So that's 2 outs. Strikeout number 10 for Carlton. There it is, the breaking pitch in the dirt. Too late for Madlock to hold up, and he is out on strikes. Number 10 for Carlton. 2 outs now. Last chance for the Pirates, Jim Morrison. Jim has 4 home runs this year. The Phillies will play the infield deep. Carlton 1 out away now. Morrison lays off. Jim in the game has been on base 1 time. He walked and scored in the 4th. That's when the Pirates got 2 runs. He struck out twice and flied to center. Carlton with 10 tonight. That gives him 3-6-2-6 for his career. Ground ball outside of third. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates had their chances against Carlton early on. Scored twice in the 4th inning. Left the bases loaded. Stranded a couple of runners in the 6th inning. 2 more in the 8th. Pirates have left 10 men on base in the game. Still chasing down the foul ball. The umpire finally retrieves it. He did not give it back to the fans, so he'll be roundly booed for that. That's Jim Quick. The guy over there thinks it's his ball. 75th time in his career that Carlton has struck out 10 or more in a game. Goes to first, Lacy back. Morrison batting .347. Line drive, right center field, base hit. Lacy around second, on his way to third. He'll hold there. Morrison heading for second is in with a double. So now a base hit could tie it for the Pirates in the 9th inning. Morrison driving the ball into right center field, a double. We'll take another look at it. Morrison got a ball he could handle. The slider on the outside part of the plate, he drove it into right center field for a double. So Morrison coming through with a base hit. Paul Owens goes to the mound. The fans don't want him to lift Carlton. And Morrison now, as a starter, has hit safely in 20 of 22 starts this year. That'll do it for Steve Carlton. 8 2/3 innings tonight. He gives up 7 hits, strikes out 10, walks 3, 2 runs so far. He hit a batter and a wild pitch. So Steve Carlton is done for the evening. We'll have a new Philadelphia pitcher. Give Carlton credit. He battled and battled, pitching with only 3 days rest tonight. Lefty is through for the evening. He'll need some help from the bullpen if he's going to pick up his 11th win of the year. And it'll be some left-handed help coming in out of the bullpen as manager Paul Owens trying to improve his managerial record to 15-9 since taking over for Pat Corrales.
Batting in the 9th position, number 19, Al Holland.
So it is Al Holland who gave up the game-winning home run to Dave Parker last night, coming on in relief. And for Holland, it is appearance number 37. His record 3-4 with 6 saves. So Holland is on. Chuck Tanner comes out, checking things over, going over his lineup card. Holland came in last night, gave up a double to Jason Thompson, and then the game-winning home run by Dave Parker. I mentioned before that Holland was at the ballpark early today, visiting with Parker, who beat him last night. After the game, Holland said, well, they got me tonight. I'll be back out there to get them tomorrow night. So he's going to try. And he'll be facing Brian Harper. Brian has 3 hits in the game, and Brian has been on base all 4 times that he's been up tonight. A base hit by Harper in this situation could tie the game. Steve Carlton threw 167 pitches in the game tonight with 3 days rest. Now he turns it over to Al Holland, the former Pirate, who's turned into a top flight relief pitcher. Holland has a birthday coming up on the 16th of August. He'll be 31 years old. It's his 4th major league season. Was in the Pirate organization. Actually, he was in a couple of games for Pittsburgh in 1977. That was the only time he ever played in the major leagues in a Pirate uniform. Went to San Francisco. Pitched for the Giants in 79, 80, 81, and 82. And he came over in the deal that brought Joe Morgan to the Phillies for Mike Krukow, Mark Davis, and Charles Pennegar. Alfred Willis Holland. Al Holland on opening day 1982 was the starting pitcher for the Giants, and then went to the bullpen, did a good job for San Francisco. He had 5 saves last year, a 7-3 record. He was 7-5 for the Giants. There are the numbers here, 4-2. Pirates with 8 hits. Holland trying to finish it off. Here's Harper, who has 3 of those hits. Buck's looking for the base hit that could tie the ball game up. Inside to Brian Harper. Tony Pena is on deck. Top of the 9th. Hang on. Short right center field. LaFay there. This should end it. It's over. The Pirates lead 2 in the top of the 9th inning. Holland finishes it up for Steve Carlton. The Phillies take 2 out of 3 in this series here at the Vet. The final tonight, 4-2. We'll be back to recap the game right after this.
You're the Pepsi generation. It's a whole new game you're facing. Let's begin. Hey, it's mud you're in. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Oh, what a time. It's gonna be Pepsi now. What a time gonna be. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Living taste is Pepsi. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Just take those old records on shelf.
I don't remember giving permission for a party, Joe.
A party? I said listen to 'em by myself.
You ever get high, Joe?
Today's music ain't got the same soul.
I'll never do anything stupid.
Please stop.
There's a time for playing it safe and a time for risky business. Starring Tom Cruise. Rated.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Come to Arby's and submerge yourself in an Arby's sub. An Arby's sub. Subdue that hunger with hearty ham, Italian salami, pepperoni, mellow Swiss, sublimely smothered with fresh lettuce, tomato, onion, dressing, all subsiding on a substantial deli roll.
You say Arby's, Arby's, Arby's.
Arby's submarine sandwich.
You said a mouthful.
Hi, I'm John Cigna. It's a brand new morning every morning at KDKA. And from 5:30 to 9:30, that's a new morning for me. But lucky, I don't have to do it alone. The K-Team's there to back me up with the weather, the traffic reports, the newsmakers, the sports, everything you need to know. And I hope you'll back me too, because let's face it, weekday mornings, we need each other.
John Cigna and the K-Team, mornings on KDKA, Radio 1020.
Did I forget anything?
Welcome back to the Vet. This is John Sanders, along with Lanny Fratteri and Jim Rooker. Tonight's Pirate of the Game, as selected by our Pirate broadcast crew, is Brian Harper. He had 3 hits in the ball game tonight. needed one of those in the 9th inning. The Pirates could not come up with it tonight. The Greater Pittsburgh area Nissan Datsun dealers will donate $100 in Brian Harper's name to his favorite charity, the Baseball Chapel. So our congratulations to Brian Harper. The Phillies took the lead in the 3rd inning on a home run by Bo Diaz. The Pirates scored twice in the 4th inning, once on an error, once on a walk to take a 2-1 lead. Phillies tied it up then in the 6th inning. RBI going to Greg Gross. In the 7th inning on the RBI by Joe LaFay, they took a 3-2 lead. And an unearned run in the 8th inning made it a 4-2 final score. Our totals in the game for the Pirates: 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They had their chances. They stranded 12 in the game tonight. For the Philadelphia Phillies, 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Philadelphia. They stranded only 4 in the contest tonight. Steve Carlton, the winner. His record is 11-11. Jose De Leon is the loser. His record is 2-2. Al Holland gets credit for his 7th save. Joe LaFay, the game-winning RBI. It's his 6th of the year. Bo Diaz hit the only home run of the game. It came in the 3rd with nobody on, his 11th of the season. The final once again at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Phillies take 2 out of 3. The final tonight is 4-2. That winds up Pirate Baseball for tonight. Be sure to join us again Friday night, August 12th at 7:30 when the Pirates meet the Montreal Expos in Olympic Stadium. Tonight's game has been sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Nissan, builders of high-mileage, high-quality cars and trucks for 50 years. Available at your Datsun dealer. By Atari, maker of real sports video games. So real, they'll make your muscles ache. And by your locally owned and operated AMCO transmission shops. Tonight's game has been produced by Ray Markoff, directed by Frank DeVincentis, coordinating producer Doug Kennedy. Our associate producer, Regis Kalani. Electronic graphics tonight by Gary Sassman. Our network control engineering supervisor, Larry Kepner. Technical director tonight, Joe Raddick. And video by Bill Archberger. Production and technical facilities provided by Unitel Mobile Video.